So anyway, there I was saying the full pizza shahada, and Frosty's like, what the fuck is the pizza shahada?
Yeah, why does it have Latin in it?
Because it's the pizza shahada. It's the shahada to pizza.
Hey everybody, welcome to Stargate Oversight. This is the last free bonus episode of like the whole bonus movies thing that we're doing before season 3.
Oh god, I'm gonna have to find like 4 hours to watch Seven Samurai.
Yeah, such a long movie.
Watch on like 3 times speed, or like I'll take some illegal substances and be like, yo, yeah, I'm good now. I get this. I'm good. I've processed this movie at lightning speed.
So, hopefully at some point in the episode we will have Orion.
Yes.
But for now, it is girls' night.
Ryan is probably still asleep. Like, he's been a very busy boy. He was up last night doing things.
I don't know, jacking off probably, I don't know.
Yeah, he was doing some male bonding.
Yeah.
Male bonding, which, as we're about to learn from our upcoming movie, male bonding can be pretty stressful.
Oh no, no, I disagree with you there. The Yakuza games is a series about male bonding. Like, yes. That is a big part of what it is. This movie does not give a shit about any of that.
I mean, it spends a lot of time for male bonding, and by male bonding, I mean males beating the shit out of each other, which can be quite stressful.
I mean, it has that aspect of it, but like, a lot of Yakuza are just dudes being dudes and hanging out. Yes. And, like, this movie is like, we have no time for any of that. We have so little time for any of that. We will not even tell you, or even, like, subtly hint about how any of these characters are related to each other.
We, in fact, do not have time to tell you why we do not have time to explain. But actually, it's because we wasted, like, a third of the movie on 2 pointless plot lines.
Yeah, we wasted, like, a bunch of this movie on some, like, really weird comedy skits. Not in the way that Tampopo did, like, just like...
Look, these comedy skits make Tampopos look better by comparison, so congratulations.
Yeah, well, I think with, like, Tampopo, the comedy skits and that were like, this is a dude that's got, like, I have so much runtime, I can do whatever the fuck I want with it.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, they're like, we are adapting a 20-hour-long game, how do we do that? And... They decided to press the button that says, do it wrong.
I do it wrong, but as a joke. So the fans won't get mad.
I mean, the fans... I can't speak of what the domestic Japanese response to this movie is. The international response in Yakuza fans to this movie is, oh yeah, I remember that film exists when you mention it.
Oh yeah.
No one's seen this. No one has seen this movie. No.
Yeah. Can I find the movie?
Yeah, as far as like when Ryan and I were looking, there is you can find like the Japanese DVD of it and it has no subtitles.
Yep.
I can't find any evidence of the existence of any official English subtitles for this movie.
That's because there probably aren't any.
What I can find evidence of, well, more accurately, Ryan found this, was we found out a French dub of the Yakuza movie exists.
Yeah. Because...
And it came out, at least if we're to believe the DVD listing for it, it came out like 3 years later.
Oh, yes, I love just, like, releasing a movie and then 3 years being like, oh, we have not targeted the French market.
I was about to say I need to find like the French dub, but I mean it's right there on Amazon. When I have money again, I could probably just buy it, I guess.
You owe me for keeping the podcastle up.
I know, I do. We don't have to talk about that right now on podcasting, whatever this is.
You owe me for the
stream podcasting.
You owe me for the mental trauma you said for repeatedly sending me.
I will get back to you. I also...
You owe me my time back for introducing me to Mandalore Gaming, and I have now learned the mystery of the Druids, and I am now fucking a changed woman, because I know that it is indeed possible to work at Scotland Yard while hovering.
Unfortunately for you as well, after I watched this movie, I did this thing called thinking.
Yeah, you did. You were up messaging me till 2 in the morning.
Oh, well, yes, various thoughts about that. That's not what I mean. That's just me in general, when we're, like, preparing for one of these, but...
Which is quite funny, because you get... My takes come out, like, several days before the podcast, and then I'll just start getting messages from you and Ryan.
Like, either the day before or the day of.
Yeah. I was like... Wait, why have you waited this long? I'm already done.
Because I probably have undiagnosed ADHD.
I probably have the same, but I get on with stuff, so it's done. So I can do other things like being gay and doing crimes. How else am I meant to handle all these girlfriends without, like, planning skills? We haven't actually introduced ourselves.
Oh, fuck, we haven't. We, like, did a whole preamble before we even introduced ourselves. It's fine, because most of that's probably going into the Patreon cut anyway, whatever.
Definitely.
Hi, everybody. My name is Arcticia Frost. My pronouns are she and her.
I'm Hope Frayol. My pronouns are she and it. And welcome to Girls' Night. That it shouldn't have been, but things have happened, and we've lost our... guest fell through, and Ryan's asleep.
We also alluded to it, but we also haven't said the name of the movie.
We're doing the fucking live-action Yakuza movie.
Yeah, specifically Like a Dragon from... Which, I mean, obviously is the name of the series in Japan historically. And is the name of... Well, I mean, as I say, it's historically the name of the series in Japan. It is now the name of the series here as well.
You may want to hold off, Ryan.
Yeah.
I literally
he's
got
awake?
a message saying, yes, I'm coming.
Oh, excellent! That extra, like, Patreon cut rambling stuff was absolutely perfect to stall the time for Ryan to arrive.
And now we have 2 hours and 30 minutes before I need to say the pizza shahada. Ryan will not get this.
We will not. I mean, I barely get it, and I was there.
Oh, yeah. So, while we're waiting for Ryan to show up, I feel like we should establish our relationship with the Yakuza franchise, because, for once, listeners, I am the odd one out. I am being forced to listen to other people's special interests, rather than forcing my special interest, Evangelion, on them.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan will talk about this, I assume, probably when he arrives, but I was talking with him before about how, like, both of us sort of learned about this franchise and got into it, and it turned out it was exactly the same reason.
This came up, I think, in our...
Oh, you're right, we were talking about it on the podcast, weren't we?
Fucking... what was that? Oh, it was in the Lupin episode, I think, because you're right. I think it was in the Lupin episode, we did not want to talk about Lupin the Third. We did not want to talk about that movie.
Okay. Let me clarify that. Okay. Before we get a bunch of angry, like, people talking, we didn't want to talk about the 2014 live action Lupin the Third.
They should have listened to it, as all listeners should.
As they should have, but in case they haven't, we're not saying, man, Lupin the Third, the classic anime franchise, sucks.
Like, Lupin is also my special interest.
It's not my special interest, and I have very little exposure to it so far, but I think it's very cool. And hello, we have Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
Ryan?
I can't hear you.
Hello?
Oh, that's not good.
You can't hear us, apparently. Plug your headphones in, dipshit.
Technical difficulties. That's alright. Thanks to the new editing software I'm using, I can speed through this a lot easier now.
Yeah, you'll have to tell me about that.
It's technically it's paid for, but it's just like WinRAR. You can just click X. It's a little complicated to get a track recording, but once you get through that, it's pretty good.
Yeah, fair enough. Because I mean, I will have to do some editing
while I'm. Yeah, you've got
when
two.
you're away.
Yeah, you got two. I mean, we could just build up enough episodes without me.
Plus, I mean, also, like, again, like, if I actually start doing editing stuff as well, it can also, like, allow us to do more stuff. Hello, do we have Ryan now?
Yeah.
Okay, now I can hear you. Jesus.
Hello, would you like to introduce yourself and also apologize to all of our listeners? We've been waiting here in real time for you.
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Ryan. Pronouns he, him. I blinked and then I lost half an hour. Hello.
So, yeah, anyway, you can finish reciting the pizza shahada now, Hope.
In nomine Andrea sausage Margarita pepperoni Parmigiano Reggiano mozzarella in nomine go with the blessings of Basil. Hi Ryan.
Hello. I fucking blinked and lost half an hour. Like, I just... my alarm went off at like 1:45. I woke up, I moved about, I blinked, and then
you
it was
have like
past.
3 missed calls from me.
Yeah, I know. My phone's on silent because I was asleep.
So, yeah, we basically did some preamble stuff. We've not really talked about the movie or Yakuza yet, so... but what Hope was about to get into before you arrived was... well, you can say it yourself, I guess.
Our relationship with Yakuza, because I had everyone big Yakuza up to me, and so when there was a Steam sale a while ago, I bought Kiwami 0, 1, and 2. And I only ever played 0 because I just...
No.
What do you mean? Wait, you bought what? You bought Kiwami 0, 1, and...
You have Kiwami...
Wow, you bought the PS2?
Wait. Yeah, hang on. You said that is such a weird
okay, do you mean that you bought Yakuza 0, Yakuza Kiwami, and Yakuza Kiwami 2? Okay.
Yeah. You have all
and I've
three?
already played 0.
What?
No, I was like sinking a lot of time into the mini game so I could do stabby as Majima.
Finish 0!
Maybe.
No,
fine, that's what I'm streaming on Monday, I guess.
Yeah. Finish 0. Play Kiwami. Kiwami is a fine remake. It's an okay remake. It adds some stuff which is kind of questionable.
Let me just plug my controller and I'll start playing while we're podcasting.
However, there is like a lot of division about whether or not Kiwami 2 or Yakuza 2 original game is better. However, what I will say is that Kiwami 2 compared to Kiwami 1 is an absolute fucking banger.
Why is Kiwami 1 not so good?
It's not that it's not good. It's just it's like I said, it's a fine remake. It just added some stuff which was kind of questionable. Mostly the Majima Everywhere system.
Oh yes. You mean like this movie?
Yes. This movie is the Majima Everywhere movie.
Opens door. Kiryu-chan looks on the desk. Kiryu-chan goes bowling. Kiryu-chan.
Also, I know a lot of people enjoyed the different fighting styles from 0. I don't think they needed to be in Kiwami.
Well, it's what it be.
Yeah,
we're here to talk about Yakuza 1 because my notes say Yakuza like a live action.
So Ryan, you have very little experience with Yakuza. Ryan and I are...
I am here to be exposed to your special interest, yes.
Rolling.
Yeah, I mean, you meant, like you said, we talked about this on the Lupin episode, but I do love the fact that we both learned about and became fans of this series for the exact same reason. It was the fucking best friends play Let's Play of Yakuza 4.
Just like, yeah. The only reason,
Keep it right.
Yeah, so sort of for context, for people who maybe not know the series so well, or maybe have gone into the series later on, so the original Yakuza game came out on the PlayStation 2 in 2005, and it had a Western release
featuring
as well.
Mark fucking Hamill.
Boy, did it!
Yeah, it had an English. Well, it had a mandatory English dub. You could not switch to the Japanese, and boy, did it have an English dub. It had an English dub that was so dog shit that like Sega became embarrassed by it, and then up until I think Fist of the North Star was the first game they did an English dub again for, but up until then again, RGG Studio never did an English dub again up until that point. Like, they were so embarrassed by it.
Well, it had the other thing of, like... no way around this. It had the other thing of, like... Mads Mikkelsen, man. Come on, he made that dub.
Mads Mikkelsen?
Like...
Mark Hamill, you mean?
Oh, no, Mads Mikkelsen. You can hear him, the amount of effort he put into it.
Are you talking about Death Stranding?
Was Mads Mikkelsen?
No.
What are you...
I'm making a joke. I'm making a joke about how bad he was as Shimano. It's so bad.
Wait, what?
Oh, not Mads Mikkelsen.
I was about to say, I would fucking know if Mads Mikkelsen was in this.
Oh my god. No. What's his name? Fuck, what's his name? Oh my god, I completely forgot his name.
But you are saying that a well-known dude was also Shimano in this? In the dub?
Yeah,
Michael Madsen.
Yeah. It's... Madsen! Michael Madsen, that's
yes,
it.
It's not Mads Mikkelsen.
No, but, like, you can understand
where your brain was.
I've seen this guy. He's like... Yeah.
Yes,
like, I didn't know his name, but as soon as I saw his face, I'm like, oh, I know this guy. I know this motherfucker.
It's like one of the most, at the time, very famous dude, and it's like Michael Madsen, Mads Mikkelsen. Come on!
Okay, I understand where your brain went.
It sounds. Oh my god, his name sounds like the English version of Mads Mikkelsen. It's like
we have translated this man into English.
Like the name. Yeah, it sounds like what you say, like, what's your name? And Mads Mikkelsen has to give his English name, like, that he made up.
Yeah! You're right, it does.
I can't pronounce Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck, yeah, I know
he's in everything!
Yeah.
He's just one of them guys.
Yeah, he is just one of those guys, yeah.
But, like, just fucking hell, my brain just went. It was like Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, I had these two guys in there, and everyone else was relative unknowns. Relative unknowns in voice acting of Japanese dubs in the 2000s. If you were familiar with that, that was not a good time for voice acting.
What do you mean? Isn't dubbed anime amazing in the mid-2000s?
I mean, like a lot of the very famous voice actors originate from that time, but that is the time when they were bad and learning.
It is quite funny to boot up Final Fantasy: A Realm Reborn and just hear fucking Sam Riegel and Taliesin Jaffe in there, knowing they won't be there by the next expansion.
Okay, but some fairness to give to the voice actors. The dub sucking is not their fault.
So basically, what other game had come out around that time in the West?
Okay, that is the second reason why there are so many problems. I was not going to talk about that, but thank you for reminding me. Yeah.
Well, GTA came out around this time. And guess what?
They really wanted this to be GTA.
They thought the dub could use some sprucing up.
You need as many fucks and motherfuckers in there as possible.
You motherfucker!
But this is combined with another problem in that The voice direction had a shoestring budget,
as usual. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. People were basically like they were. I don't know how many line reads they got, but like they did not get enough takes. And not only did they not get enough takes, they were not allowed to see the game. They were not allowed to hear the original Japanese voices, to see the cutscenes.
Yeah.
They had no context whatsoever.
Do you know why? Do you know why?
I don't know why. No.
They didn't want it to influence their fucking.
It needed to influence their dub.
Yes,
it so much needed them to.
They wanted a true English dub with an English personality.
It was a Japanese video game about Japan. They need the context. These are all like mostly American dudes. They need the context. They need it so bad. If you do not give them the context, they are left so in the deep end. They do not know what they are doing, and this is what happens, and it's not their fault.
My favorite is like them saying like Kiryu-san or whatever, and like it sounds so fucking like.
There's I wish I took clips from the dub as drops, but the very infamous one as well is one of like I forgot the fucking dude's name, but he's like one of the Omi Alliance guys that Nishiki hires.
Nishiki, who is that? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Who calls Kiryu a motherfucker, but takes like a multiple seconds long pause between motherfucker and ka.
Why you mother?
I think that's Michael. I think that's Mads Mikkelsen.
That's not Shimano. That's like again, I have the dude's face in my head. He's the same guy in Yakuza 2 who tries to come back and like take out the power in like the building where the florist is.
I love how I'm just saying Mads Mikkelsen.
I don't care.
I love it.
Michael Madsen is Mads Mikkelsen. I don't care. Fine. I'm just going with it.
Don't worry about it. This is how it be now. That he has become Mids Mackelson.
Mids Mackelson, the mid version of Mads Mikkelsen.
The mid version.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, dude. You don't deserve that.
They say the pizza shahada together.
There are like three
of course, there's always brothers. Always with the fucking Norse and having brothers. Like there's 3 fucking Skarsgårds. Yeah.
Skarsgårds. Yeah.
And there's.
Oh no! Wait, I think I might.
Were you thinking of the? Were you being Scandinavian racist and thinking of the Skarsgårds?
Racism on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, okay, they're right.
Cool. Okay. Scandinavian racism.
Yeah, we were really going to lose the Swedish crowd on this one.
There's a Lars Mikkelsen, who is his older brother, who is a famous Danish actor.
Oh well, we've just lost the Swedish and Danish crowd now.
We've still got the Finnish crowd
because I called them Swedish.
Listen, we just need to play some black metal. We'll keep our Finns on board. They'll keep paying us. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Finns will keep listening, but it's because they're just too awkward to turn it off. Yeah, they're like.
Anyway, back to Yakuza.
I could stop listening, but I don't want to seem rude. So
listen, I want to hear them say.
Back to Yakuza. There is something.
So yeah.
Okay.
This game came out at such a weird time in the West for gaming.
Yeah.
But also, it wasn't just the fact that they tried to dub it up, to punch it up, to make it more aggressive. They actually marketed it as a Yakuza clone.
No, as a GTA clone, you mean, yeah.
Why?
Which is really funny. Well, I think the really funny thing about all of that is that when the Western release of Yakuza 2 came out, it reverted to the sub, and a crucial thing about the dub is that they changed a bunch of characters' names. The names in the subtitles were changed back to their original names for Yakuza 2, so people who had played Yakuza 1 are going into this game, seeing all of these character names and being like, who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is Shintaro Kazuma? I've never heard of him.
So Sega had this amazing fucking strategy of, for Yakuza 1, we're gonna go full English, change half the fucking characters' entire motivations and plot, almost. Not like in the overarching, but in the way they actually talk, so they feel like a different person.
Oh, no, hang on, sorry. You keep talking, I just remembered a job I need to have for this episode.
For Yakuza 2, they went, oh, well, that didn't work for Yakuza 1, and we lost a lot of money because that dub was really expensive. What do? I know, we'll just sub it. Great. We're going to sub it using, the plot lines we made and the characters we kind of names we made. No, we're going to just do a direct translation. That's fair enough. Oh, people didn't like it as much, and were confused about the characters being just completely different. Well then, guess we're not releasing another Yakuza in the West then.
We want
guys!
Give up!
You literally did 2 massive fuck-ups in a row when the children are wrong. What?
It's the children who are to blame.
Guys!
Yep.
By the way, I think I know what's... Oh, no, it's hope. There's more. So, based on this fact, they went, I guess the West isn't ready for a game about the Japanese, because I guess no one in the West likes Japanese culture and modern living.
It took a bit long. It took a bit longer than that, because we got more game. The game that killed the Yakuza franchise was Dead Souls.
Yeah, but the game, it never lived in the West. That was the thing. People loved it, but the game never really
had a niche cult following, but it never really took off. And then
came out.
Yeah, you can keep going.
Hang on. Yakuza 3 came out, which was I liked it. I really
retroactively
did.
I like it.
I played it way later. I know that a lot of people have some issues with it because it focuses on orphans, which
damn these children. Don't even have parents, fucking idiots.
Yeah. What do they do? Lose them? Fucking twats. Anyway, so... And also the fact that the combat in that game is, I am going to block you.
Oh god, Every enemy spams block and you have to figure out how to get around it, otherwise you will not have a good time.
Yeah, if you figure it out, and the problem is a lot of people did the whole, I'm going to brute force it because I brute forced 1 and 2, i.e. didn't get good at the combat ever. Meaning, in 3, you can't. You can't brute force 3. You just can't.
Yeah, I'm going to be real with you, I'm bad at the Yakuza combat, so I do struggle with 3. I
try to do, I try to learn combos and shit in every game, so
I will give them
3 wasn't that big of a deal for me.
I'm sorry, I'm really good at this actually. So
in the 3 remake, they removed.
That's fine.
Yeah, we fucked up handling the LGBT plotline. We just cut that because we dumb fucked.
Oh yeah, no. In the original release, they cut that plotline.
Yeah, in the West.
And then they put it back in the remaster and was like, resubbing this, we're getting it right this time, and they fucking knocked it out of the park.
That's good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
Kiryu meets a trans woman, learns about trans people, and goes, yo, that's cool.
And then just says, well, guess you're pretty cool. And that's basically the plot. That's basically the plot. It's kind of great. Especially when that game fucking came out, timeline-wise.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, and also that game in particular in the remaster starts with, this is a game that was made a while ago, so some things haven't aged that well, and honestly, you actually play it, and I'm like, I don't actually know what they're alluding to there, because this is mostly fine, actually.
This actually seems to age better than some of the modern games you've played recently.
This ages better than Zero! Zero has some transphobic stuff in it.
But yeah, so then we got 4, which is arguably when the series really started to take off, actually, because it's when it's really hilarious how it took till 4 in the West for the series to get some notoriety.
10 years in the joint made you a fucking pussy.
You.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. But once 4 came out, people bought it, but not loads, but people bought it. But then Sega went, oh, rather than, just fucking continuing along and increasing our, notoriety and getting some more popularity.
Well, hold on.
We're gonna make a special game.
Hold on, a special game, Ryan. I've been looking at Western video games. You know what's
Prequels.
really popular right now? No, not prequel. Zombies. We should make a zombie spin-off.
Do you know about Yakuza Dead Souls?
This as like a mythical thing.
Yakuza Dead Souls.
We have probably mentioned this as just like
I have played a little bit of this game. I do own it.
I have watched the full game stream. I have not played it.
So the game it's funny, but it's not good. It's not good because they try to work gun combat into the Yakuza. They try to rework it to work around guns, and it just doesn't work. You can't aim for shit.
So they basically wanted a light gun, but you can move the character around Yakuza game.
Yeah, you have all of the controls of the Yakuza games, trying very badly to aim a weapon, and it just doesn't go well.
And you need to fuck it. I'm not.
Nobody wanted this. Nobody wanted this game.
You need the game is such like a weird thing where there's a zombie infection in Kamurocho, and Kiryu and the gang have to fucking fix it.
Yes. Also, I have heard jokes as well because of the time gap between Yakuza 4 and 5, and because no one says anything that contradicts it otherwise, I do hear people joking that Dead Souls is canon.
Yeah, sure, right, fine. Yeah, I believe. Listen, this is a game where a manager.
Yeah, between 4 and 5, Kiryu just fixes a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, I buy it. Sure.
Not a joke. This does happen.
Yeah. So because this bad zombie spin-off flopped, Sega's very, of course, reasonable reaction to this is this means that nobody outside of Japan wants one of these video games ever again.
And you don't deserve one.
So they released Yakuza 5, and everyone was waiting for the English release of Yakuza 5. Years go by.
Patiently waiting.
Years go by, and they say nothing about it. And then, do you know how it gets announced, Hope? A random, blog post on the PlayStation blog where Sony was like, so we've been hearing, for a while, there's, fans of this series called Yakuza, apparently, and we, pretty please asked Sega if they would consider doing, a digital-only Western release of Yakuza 5. Yep. And Sega were fine. And then the reaction to this release was this really well, it's not going to do well, but I guess Sega, if you're going to force our hand. And then the reaction to this was that it sold really well.
And then they went at the time. Sega was also making another Yakuza game, or planning one.
I know this
Yakuza
game
exactly, and
which was meant to be,
and they were
which was meant to be
a prequel
to Yakuza 1.
And
big old anniversary.
And they were like, okay, so Yakuza 5 did fairly well, so we will give the series another chance, and if gamers really like Zero, we will bring this series back properly. And
so Sega decided to release Yakuza 0 in the West as a last fucking last ditch hurrah, where they were all basically going, it's not going to work.
And
here's the thing, they did something they didn't just release it in the West. They did something that they fucking haven't done with the Yakuza series ever. They released it on a PC.
Yep. Well, they released it on a PC. And, they put a bunch of actual real funding into the localization. And also, I think really a lot of, and of course, Yakuza has always had a reputation, even outside of its community. Those who have vaguely heard of it know that weird, silly things happen in it. and that there's funny side content. And what really helped Zero is this is a prequel. So there is no required prior knowledge to get into this. So a lot of people did get into this, and streamers started playing it, YouTubers started playing it, and the series fucking exploded.
Zero fucking popped. It's not like, how do I put this? It's not like a little bit.
Oh, it fucking exploded.
It fucking bombed. Like, it just
No, not bombed. Bombed would be if it didn't sell at all.
I need to remind you.
It fucking sets off the wall.
I've just sent you something. I sent this to Forrest last night. Yakuza 0 is still being memed today. Because it's good.
Yeah, it's to the point. It switched between Sega being like, this series will never ever make money to this series prints fucking infinite money.
So apparently, I'm looking at sales here. They had 11 million sales before it came out on PC.
Yeah, the PC release up until Yakuza Like a Dragon, all of the PC releases were like months or a year after.
Later,
whereas
but after the PC sales, this is before 7 came out, i.e. a while ago at this point, it had 14 million.
Yeah.
Yakuza does not sell that well. It does not sell
and
that
also very much helped
because I remember having so much fun.
Well, I mean, what helped the series is really immensely as well. Ever since then, is it came to PC and then it came to Xbox, and then every single game in the series has been on Game Pass. So many people are playing this now.
I think the mainline ones that come out are not on Game Pass.
No, they're on Game Pass. I'm pretty sure they're on Game Pass.
Yeah, but not at launch. I don't think 8's going to be on Game Pass.
No, 8 is on Game Pass at launch, yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Is it?
It is. It has a page there being like it's going to be here at launch on Game Pass. Yeah.
Wait, is it?
That's hilarious.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. No, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth not being Game Pass at launch. It's confirmed.
Oh, is it not? Okay. I thought it was.
Studio director.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy that.
Buy it!
Listen, coming soon, Stargate Oversight, where my friends just sit there with a whip and hope, Yakuza, Yakuza, Yakuza.
I mean, the only time I will stream a Stargate Oversight stream is if we're playing Yakuza instead of actually talking about Stargate. Just saying.
Fair play. Look, we'll discuss this because obviously we'd want the episode to go out so people hear it and then can't watch the stream. We'd need to pick it.
So anyway, we managed to find this film in a way that is ridiculous and basically clearly fan-subbed?
Yeah, this is fan-subbed. This is absolutely fan-subbed.
And it's fan-subbed by someone who,
It's an okay fan-sub. It's not great, but it's fine.
I had to adjust the timings several times.
Oh, I had to as well. It is, yeah. I mean, usually the problem I normally have is that the subtitles are a little far ahead. Sorry, a little far behind. This one was 5 seconds, too fast.
The character would go, huh.
You would get subtitles 5 seconds later.
As they were walking away, the subtitles would go, huh.
Yeah, the subtitles were so off. Jimmy, come on, baby. Jimmy, you could have... I'm sorry, Jimmy, you could have,
Do not besmirch Jimmy.
I'm sorry, Jimmy. I know you didn't make the subs, but I feel like you could have, You could have synced up the subs for us, honey.
I had to get the subs from somewhere else.
You dare question the mighty Jimmy?
Did you?
I downloaded the exact same version as you. It did not come with subs.
The Jimmy Thick version came with subtitles.
Version, but it's the exact same name, and it did not have subtitles. You can literally Google subtitles and there's a website full of subtitles.
Oh no, yeah. No, I think you meant your download.
How did you? How?
But yeah, so this movie opens up with shots of Tokyo with the most royalty-free shitty metal I have ever heard.
Right.
And it's interspersed with shots of Japan and stonks going down.
Stonks are going up and down.
I'm just going to say No,
they're going very down. They like hit bottom at the end of this.
This is like, so. If you don't know Yakuza, Zero is about the bubble.
But this isn't. But this is also kind of not correct as well, because the financial crash happens in the 90s in the prologue.
95,
yeah, sort of like 95. Yeah.
No, but I'm thinking 98 is where it's like going down still. Or
by this point, like the game starts straight away at the time skip. It's like the crash has happened like a decade ago at this point. It's not going down. It's already gone down. It's already dead.
And it's already going back up at this point.
Oh, don't worry, everybody. If you're all like, oh, thank God Japan recovered. Do you remember that there was a global recession again? A few years later?
Oh, yeah. So, just saying, if you want to import anything from Japan, now's the time.
Japan has had basically, ever since their economic crash, they've basically been having constant bad times because they were just starting to recover from their 90s economic crash. Then the global recession happened, and they were just starting to recover from the global recession, and then the entire Japanese economy tanked again because of the Fukushima disaster.
Because of COVID.
And then they were just starting to recover, and then they closed
because of COVID.
Tourists, and Japan's tourism industry is
it's so big. Like, I'm not even kidding. A lot of Western anime exists specifically to bolster the tourism industry, and it works. It's worked. I want to go there.
Oh yeah, I mean, I want to go there to see like all the old shrines and shit. Like that's why I want to go.
Go to Japan and please have sex.
Go to Japan, be gay, and go camping.
Well, to be fair, there is like a thriving like Tokyo gay scene, so you want to go there, you
let's
can.
go and hang out with the Tokyo quiz and see what kind of insane shit.
I mean, I was reading some stuff about like the essentially like Tokyo's version of the gay village. And there was this like really popular bar there where like the owner of it was like a really huge turf and was like, this is a lesbian bar and we refuse to let trans people in it. And I mean, I still would recommend going here, but like the local gay community basically bullied her so hard she had to apologize and let trans people in.
You know what I also know is in Japan? There is a Philadelphia bar dedicated to the city of Philadelphia. It's playing
so
Eagles
cool.
games, and you can get a cheesesteak. A man will swear at you.
I wanna go to Japan. One of the reasons I want to go to Japan is I want to see all of the not at all authentic American food places.
I want the food. I want the fucking food.
Isn't there like an America town or something?
Yeah, I have seen pictures and like videos of like the supposed authentic American food, and I'm like, I'm really sorry, people from like India and China. Is that how you feel when you see the supposed authentic food here?
You know what's funny? Probably used to, but a lot of those foods have become like actually authentic in the last, say, 5 to 10 years. And whereas Japan's American,
it's so funny. I mean, it looks good, but it's like, no, I don't know where you got this idea from. This is not what any of this looks like.
There is a place in Japan called America Maru.
It's so good.
American Village is a retail and entertainment area.
Oh god, what I love about the authentic American food in Japan, from what I've seen of it, is it looks like what would happen if you had described American food to me and I had never seen it.
Sounds great.
Hey, so American food is burgers and fries, and a burger is a lot of meat shoved together.
Again, it's so like they have burgers, but like authentic American burgers look like they are made by someone who doesn't know what a burger is. And I'm like, you fuckers, I know you have burgers. I know you know what they look like.
It's a guy who's seen a faded picture of a burger 20 years ago and is like, I know how to make a burger. The worst part is they have like some places there are like one or two that do actual proper smash burgers fine, so they must know what they are.
This is a Wendy's star.
Again, no. Again, though, it looks stupid and it's definitely not authentic,
Yeah,
but I bet it tastes fucking good.
Yeah. There's another thing they made called a Hamburg steak, which does exist.
Right, go hit me with this.
So, Hamburg steak is a hamburger, but also like a specific kind. So, it doesn't exist it's not a Japanese invention, but Japan have kind of made their own version of it.
It's so stupid.
Some people hate it, some people like it. So, it's like Japanese beef, generally like not the highest quality.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I'm not getting A1 Wagyu in like a random.
Do that with the A1 Wagyu, that'd be hilarious.
It's kind of like a fucking Salisbury steak,
right?
Like it's a lot of beef. It's a lot of it's ground beef, like reformed or formed together with like a sauce on it, like a soy sauce.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense because I was like, how do you eat a full steak inside of a burger? You can't eat that.
So it's not
okay, good. Because I was worried. I was like, you can't eat that.
Rusty, it's not on a bun.
What is it on?
A plate.
Wait. Wait. Oh, it's like a burger, as in like this is like a patty, like.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't understand why they made this.
But it's a
I don't know why.
okay, it's like I was gonna understand. Like, I understand you've got it like mashed up and everything. If it was for a burger, but if it's just on a plate, you can't just serve a steak at that point.
It's ground meat with onion, egg, and breadcrumbs made into a flat, circular shape, thicker than a regular burger would be. And
oh fuck! So don't worry, no. Now that you've described this, I have seen this.
Animate a lot.
No, yeah, but some places specialize. They have a hamburger topped with cheese.
Are you gonna have the bun at any point?
Adding the bun would be haram. So we spent an hour not even touching the movie. We're weird. Join us for the Stargate Oversight Japan trip where Frosty has a good time. I get arrested for hooking up with a girl in a bathroom, and Ryan is never seen again. Yeah, Ryan does not come back.
Ryan just stays there.
Ryan gets the surgery that turns him Japanese, and he becomes Sean Connery, and you only live twice.
You only live twice. He has to do Zardos.
No, I become that Western dude who like goes on a spiritual journey.
Sir, you have to leave. Your visa is expired.
No one knows why he's there.
Oh, I
have obtained enlightenment. Fuck off.
I got a first, but I got a first Oriental languages in Cambridge.
Fucking Connery doing Japanese is the worst, man.
Yeah, if I had a penny for every time Sean Connery did a movie where he had to weirdly talk about Japan and speak in Japanese, I would have 2 pennies, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
And I would bet those 2 pennies that in one of them he was in just straight up yellow face, and I bet one of those.
I already told you one of them was a James Bond movie. Of course he was in yellowface.
Yes, but Frosty, I bet you those 2 pennies that in the one where you don't see his face and he's just kind of talking, he's in yellowface every time he's not on screen. Just to get
No. Okay, he is just normal Bond for most of the movie. Until, like, partway through, in which they're like, everyone is trying to assassinate you. We have to, like, disguise you by getting you surgery to turn you Japanese and making you marry a Japanese woman and, like, become a Japanese man so that they will never suspect who you are.
And then it cuts away, and then it cuts back, and he's just got his eyes squinted.
Yeah, no, it is fully like that, yeah.
The other one is just...
This is not an exaggeration. He just squints his eyes. Fucking has like makeup on that like yellows his skin a bit, and that's it. Oh yeah, they did his hair.
Yeah, and then there's also the other one. What? There's also the other one, like when it's old Sean Connery with Wesley Snipes about a scary movie about the scary Japanese companies taking over America. And yeah, and Sean Connery's character is supposed to like read as like the resident expert who like knows, who can like pierce into their strange and alienating culture, but to a modern audience, a modern audience, it reads as this guy is a weeb. There is a scene where he tells Wesley Snipes about the senpai kohai relationship.
He might as well just be saying, "Oh yes, it was a fucking amazing like art piece.
It's called hentai.
And learn about Japanese culture. It's a little known in the West. It's called Persona 5. You may have heard it. It's like
again, like in the modern, from a modern viewing, he reads as that guy."
It's so bad. It's great actually, but it's so bad.
All right, should we talk about the actual movie now?
I was about to. So the movie opens on stocks falling and my favorite ever soundtrack for a movie like this.
Oh my god!
And it's so
you have
good.
Like good music from the video game that you own. You can use that instead.
Frosty, I bet you the music
no,
rights
they
are
use this
slightly
music
different.
Okay, there are some tracks. No, okay, there are some tracks they can't use. Like there are some, but like they still have most of the soundtrack that is theirs that they could use.
Well, all I know is they use the best ever metal riff, and they use it about 500
they went to, like,
times.
They went to like freemetalriffs.com.
Yeah.
They picked one.
They picked
and
the first one that was there. It said, "This is perfect. Not going to look at any of the others."
Any questions? Just go.
Yeah. We get like our. We see Kiryu. Sort of.
All right, I'm going to say this. I think
he's John Yakuza.
I think acting wise, he's an okay Kiryu.
Yes.
I think combat-wise...
Oh, okay, we will get that. Fighting in this movie is it's perfect.
And
but...
I think, honestly, the problem with casting Kiryu is the most... Out of all the characters in Yakuza, Kiryu is the most we have made an impossible human face.
I will argue with that. They do manage to somewhat cast a pretty good like approximation of her as a character, but I think the most we have made an impossible face is Haruka. Because she is just an anime girl. She is just an anime girl.
Yeah, okay, I was about to say, that's not because like they didn't make her look right. That's because they made her just look like... Well, they don't know how to draw a child. Or like make a child. So they just went anime
even
child.
When they aged her up, they still make her look like an anime girl.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing. That the worst part is they're making her consistent.
Yeah. They get to Yakuza 5. There's a whole like plot. There's a whole segment of the game in Yakuza 5 where you play as her, and she has has like rhythm mini games and dance battles instead of combat, and it's like, well done. Hey everybody, we're doing K-On! Now.
And it's also incredibly dark, that plot.
Oh yeah, it's all about, because it's still a Yakuza game, so like with like all of this like high energy like, whoa, everybody do your best, woo, idol girl shit, and then you get to like the behind the scenes stuff when your manager is being like, idols often get abused and raped and shit all the time. It's like, oh my god, what? And, I mean, I know it's true, but it's such a total whiplash.
Yeah, it honestly, it's kind of great because of it's really well done, and it's surprisingly well done for a group of men who've made a game that's all.
Okay, this is spoilers for Yakuza 5, so skip ahead a little bit if you don't want the spoilers. But there is also the weirdest thing about that game is the sudden plot line. So Haruka's manager is a woman who was a former idol herself in the 90s, who ended her career because of a scandalous marriage she had to a man who was in the Yakuza. Who was that man? Who was that man, Ryan?
Hope. That man was
Wait, what?
fucking Majima.
Why? How? Like, that plot line only exists to have a shocking twist, and it's like, why? In what reality did they get married?
So that plotline, timeline-wise, was really confusing.
Because he must have got divorced really quickly,
and
like it had to have happened in like 91, and then he got like divorced in 92.
And then, like, also, it's literally just there for shock value because of something else that happens to that character later. It's just there.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway,
this
film literally is introduced like this. This fucking metal riff.mp3. Kiryu walks down the road, turns around, looks at the camera, and goes.
And then we get the logo drop, and then the Kiryu tattoo behind it.
I will say, when it cut to the fucking sign of the shop and it said the Popo, I was like, yes!
Yeah, no.
Is Popo the one that's a real store?
It's Don's.
Because there's one convenience store that appears as is a real one. And there's one that isn't a real one. But...
I think
yeah,
it's the fake
Don Quixote
one
was
because,
we have Don Quixote not in this movie. Very well, it is in this movie, but it's not. It doesn't get the name.
Yeah,
it's because it's a real shop. They'd have to pay.
Well, that's the funny thing is you say they have to pay, but for like most of the appearances when they appear in the games, it's because, and again, this is one of their main funding sources. It's because Don Quixote has paid them to appear in their game. Like when we talked about how like Yakuza has struggled financially in the years, they basically stayed alive by extensive product placement. So if you play any Yakuza game, you will see real-life brands. When you go to the shops, you will see Pepsi, you will see 7-Up, you will see real alcohol brands.
You will see Mountain fucking
Do you want some Suntory whiskey?
Because they added so many, because it's like everywhere, and they've got like actual fucking like idol posters and actual like real posters and shit. It doesn't feel weird.
Yeah, well, it feels weird. In some of the more modern Yakuza games, they don't have that sometimes. Yeah. And I'm like, where is it?
Yeah.
I want Yakuza 8.
It doesn't feel like a real city
posters everywhere, and that's Kiryu's new thing. As Kiryu becomes a VTuber.
Okay, no, that will happen. Hope. They have done so much collaborative stuff with VTubers in recent years.
Seriously, hang on. If you watch a trailer for Yakuza 8, one of the main villains is a VTuber.
And also, technically about a VTuber, but not appearing as a VTuber. In Yakuza, a man who raised his name, Gaiden. Specifically, there is a VTuber who is in that game, but because she won a contest to be one of the real life FMV women you date at the cabaret clubs, the hostess clubs. Basically, there is a VTuber who did her face reveal by being a hostess FMV in the Yakuza game.
No. She was.
She was real before that. Okay.
Yeah. Do you know who that VTuber is?
I looked them up, but I don't. That's not one I know that well.
Oh, no. Yeah, I know the name. She's real big, but not familiar. Who?
Do you know who she used to be?
Wait, what?
Wait, what? That's her? Oh my fucking god, that's her?
No, it's not. The spoilers are apparently illegal to tell you, but yeah.
Oh, fuck, I didn't know that was her! Okay, that's so big about her being in the Yakuza game, holy shit!
Kiryu Kogo is a massive fan of Yakuza.
She was in Hololive, like her whole name was Kiryu. Because of Kiryu!
And she fucking Kiryu's her husband-in-law.
Oh, I didn't know that was her! Fuck! Because I don't really pay attention to a lot of the big VTuber stuff. I find myself mostly in the insular indie stuff, really, because I'm a part of that.
Neither do I. But I just started getting recommendations, and then that's kind of how I found out. YouTube just basically tattled on who she was to me.
I mean,
I didn't
Spotify
look
did that
for
to
it.
me
It just
because
happened.
Spotify queued up music from fucking Callie Mori, and then immediately put Demon Dice on afterwards. It's like, these two very different people.
So yeah, so after we have a really confusing scene next as well. Confusing for one simple reason: we're in Popo, and there is a big bald Yakuza tough who is harassing a shopkeeper.
The movie starts. We see Kamurocho. We see our boy Kiryu in the white suit, and then we see the shoes because fucking we also get like a preview. This is Majima, and no, wait, fuck, no, it's Kiryu's shoes. Sorry,
no, we don't. No, Kiryu also has like weird animal skin shoes.
I'm confused by my own notes.
Yeah, Kiryu has like Majima core shoes. Like the rest of his outfit is like host club outfit, and then he has like Majima shoes.
To say, there's the boy.
So I think you were about to say this, Ryan, but the outfit this random Yakuza dude is wearing.
So this guy is dressed exactly like a fucking random enemy that you see a million times.
No, this guy is dressed. This guy is dressed like a main character who doesn't appear in this movie.
Oh yes, that too. So I mean, this guy looks like
but he wears the outfit of Shinji, who is like Kiryu's like disciple, basically, who is not in this movie.
Not appearing in this film.
So, like, when I first saw this, I was like, wait, what? Shinji's a twink because they made him a big, tough, bald guy? He's like, no, this is a different guy.
This is Twink Death.
He's Twink Death.
He's not a twink.
Shinji's a twink. Shinji's a twink. He tries so hard with his, like, I mean, he is also, like, it's not like bald like this guy, but he is also like shaved head. But like he is twink. He is absolute twink. He's got twink energy for sure.
By the way, just for future reference, how do you make subtitles?
I had to move them back and forward.
Which way did you send it backwards and forwards? How do you do that?
Oh, mostly I put mine on like a minus 500 millisecond.
Okay, because I was just reading back in time when I was watching this. But yeah, so Yakuza has like enemies that you can take one look at them and go, that guy's big and fat, I can't grab him. Or that guy
we'll get to that. Yeah.
That means he's gonna thing. And this guy just looks like generic Yakuza dude, other than the outfit. Generic Yakuza big guy.
Yeah, this is big dude. This is like the heavy dude you appear in combat, which early game makes you shit yourself and go, oh no, that's big dude.
No.
So yeah, this guy's just harassing a shopkeeper, and then we get the first of scene I do not care about in this movie.
Yeah, fucking behead, do crimes.
We get two guys in knitted balaclavas who were trying.
No,
hand knitted,
not just knitted, like thick as.
Oh yeah, like very like thick wool knitted, like. Like their grandma made it for them. So they are trying to rob. I don't know what they decided to call it in this movie. In the game, it's the Tojo Bank. And they're trying to rob this bank, but they're being basically awkwardly told by like all of like the manager and everyone of like, our money has already been stolen.
Some big guy came down and was like, I want all my gold out of the bank now, the way you're not meant to do it.
Yeah. Some guy just did a run on the bank.
One guy.
We have no money. One guy owned all of the money in this bank.
One guy in a flashy gold suit and a wig came down.
Really weird. The long-term producer of the Yakuza series came down here and took all of the money.
Honestly, I was referencing the nouveau reshed of these in Yakuza.
But no. Okay, we will get there. But yes, actually, the Nagoshi popped down here himself and took the money.
Nagoshi, my little Yakuza boy who could.
No, the little Yakuza boy who couldn't. That's why he made these games.
The little Yakuza boy who cosplayed. He is
yes.
Right. You know, weird. He's a Yakuza.
He is. I fucking love Nagoshi so much. He's the funniest guy ever.
He's great. He's great.
He wants so bad to be a Yakuza. It's so also, funny. He dresses like a Yakuza so much as well. I call
these guys the Japanese non-union payday gang because there's only 2 of them.
Oh god, yeah. They basically just spend the whole time doing really bad slapstick bits.
It's hot. Wow, we can't rob this bank. It's like
honestly,
nice
I don't mind
if they didn't. If so much wasn't missing, and I think like the problem.
Yeah, this scene basically exists. At least this first robbery scene has one purpose, and that's to very badly introduce Detective Date.
Non-union Zenigata.
So the ways Date is introduced in the game is that the way the game starts is that we start in 1995, and there's a little bit of stuff that establishes who Kiryu is. But he has like 2 best friends who he grew up with in an orphanage. Very important details, not in this movie. His 2 best friends, Yumi and Nishiki. Nishiki and Kiryu joined the Yakuza together because they wanted to impress Daddy Kazuma, who was the owner of the orphanage, who they looked up to a lot. And Yumi did nothing because she's a woman in the Yakuza game. So basically, Yumi is like a person who both Nishiki and Kiryu have big crush on,
and of course she only has feelings for the one dude who's not a bitch. And
unfortunately, she has feelings for Kiryu, which are unrequited, not because Kiryu is not interested in her, but because Kiryu is autistic and doesn't pick up on any cues whatsoever.
No, because Kiryu is legitimately just like the most like awful person at like dealing. Like, it's weird. If he's like, his entire thing is, I don't know how to deal with people probably, so I'll play the cool, like, stoic, relaxed guy. And then like,
he has autism. But, he has autism. Man.
Self-diagnosed Kiryu from a guy who doesn't. The guy who wrote him doesn't even know what autism is.
I'm diagnosed.
Yes.
What fucking Dr.
It's a fictional character. It's fine to do it to fictional characters. Do not do it. Do not do it to real people. But yeah.
Well, anyway, so Kiryu just like doesn't deal well with like women, especially in terms of like romantic feelings. And so he's finally coming around, and he's finally dealing with it, and he's gonna like ask her out. And
and also, before we get into, I know you're right, but before you get into that, also a real big important thing is that Kiryu is now become an officer in the Dojima family, the biggest family in the Tojo clan. He is hot shit. He is the talk of like the town. Everyone knows who he is. Everyone thinks he's really cool, and he's about to get his own crime family. No, the Kiryu. The Kazuma family already exists.
Kiryu. Yeah. And so he has to. He can't have another Kazuma family, so they use his first name. Which is,
Kiryu. Kiryu is his last name. This is his name is Kazuma Kiryu. You're thinking it's Kiryu Kazuma because of the Japanese, where they do last name, first name,
you're correct. The Kazuma family is already
because his last name, dude whose last name is Kazuma and dude whose first name is Kazuma.
Yeah. And Kiryu gets called Kazuma.
Oh yeah, Kiryu gets called Kazuma by everybody in the English dub as well. And then,
but also,
which is then, of course,
but also by certain people who are like important to him.
Yes, which again makes things really confusing because they change Kazuma, the other Shintaro Kazuma, they change his name to Fuma Oyabun in the English dub, and then they change his name back to Kazuma in the subtitles for 2, while going to calling Kiryu rather than Kazuma.
So in the English dub of 1, they call Kiryu Kazuma.
Exactly. So again, people go back to and they hear everyone talking about Kiryu, and they go, "Wait, Kazuma is Kiryu," and then they hear some people talking about a guy called Kazuma, and wait, what? Who is this? That's not. Wait. Well, no, I'm sorry. What? Yeah. It must have been so funny to be and so confusing to be an early Yakuza fan.
It's one of those ones, and it also did you have to pick basically the same fucking name?
Yeah, but everything. So he's like hot shit. He's on top of the world, but everything goes to shit because he's at the office. Kazuma and Kashiwagi are all like, "You've done it, buddy. We're so proud of you." But then.
You just got to go deal with these couple of
immediately they get a phone call from Shinji saying, yeah, our boss is raping our best friend. Straight up.
Yeah, straight up. It goes hard immediately.
Yeah, and
basically,
Kazuma,
the head of one of the largest
their boss. Their boss.
Well, not the head of the Tojo. The
Dojima family. Their boss. Yeah, their direct. Oh, sorry, Kiryu's direct boss, because I think isn't Nishiki's in the Kazuma family, isn't he?
Kazuma is
the captain of the Dojima family. It's very confusing. There's a lot of hierarchical stuff here.
Nishiki is part of the Kazuma family, so he's a subsidiary of the...
Whereas Kiryu is directly a member of the Dojima family. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Because he's part of the Kiryu family.
Well, no, he's not part of the Kiryu. They're about to make a Kiryu family. Spoiler alert, they do not make a Kiryu family. Yes. Kazuma and Kashiwagi, Kashiwagi is the captain of the Kazuma family, and Kazuma is the captain of the Dojima family, and Dojima and Sohei Dojima is a captain of the Tojo clan.
Yeah, by the way, all of this is not in the movie. We need to make this very clear.
No, it's not.
This is why we're explaining
this.
Kashiwagi tells Kiryu, "Don't do anything stupid," and Kiryu goes,
Kiryu rushes over to the Dojima office immediately, but by the time he arrives, Nishiki is standing over Dojima's corpse with a gun that is smoking.
Yeah, and Kiryu's response, this is kind of why what endeared me to Kiryu so massively. His response is just, fair enough. That makes sense.
Yeah, give me the gun. Give me the gun. Get Yumi out of here. I will take the fall for this.
She needs to be taken away from him now. Get her away. I'll deal with it.
And
that's your introduction.
And that's also how we meet Date as well, because Date is a homicide detective at the time who is assigned to being the lead detective of the murder, and his job is essentially to just... Kiryu has confessed, go do paperwork.
This is a slam dunk, Date, or make your
Unfortunately, Date is like, this motherfucker obviously didn't do this.
It's really obvious. Why don't you see it? And it's like, oh, they see it.
They don't care.
Do it.
It's an easy conviction. They do not care. And because he basically embarrasses them so much by making a huge stink about it, that in the years between the opening and the rest of the game, he gets swapped. He gets, well, he's still a detective technically, but it is functionally a demotion where he is removed to the organized crime division, which is where you send cops to do nothing.
And the reason we're going over all this is because
in the movie,
none of this is in the
game.
And
and how it's later on in the movie. It's later on in the movie, but the way Kiryu and Date meet in this is they just stumble into each other.
Why they know each other?
And
in the game,
no, they imply they know.
Yeah, and in the game, they meet after the time skip because Date saves his life from being mobbed by like infinity dudes at a funeral.
Oh my god, I love that funeral. Fucking love that funeral.
It's so good. But yeah, so Kiryu is at not Don Quixote because they don't have the name rights, although they are clearly filming inside of what is definitely Don Quixote.
No, it's not.
That's not Don Quixote. Don Quixote is a very specific look.
Is it not? A Don Quixote. Looked like one. It kind of looked like one.
No, Don Quixotes are like almost stacked.
Yeah, but that's what that looked like. That's what that looked like when he was in there. It was like stacked. It was completely stacked. It looked like Don Quixote.
Nah. Like, I'm literally at the video up right now. Nah, it's not a Don Quixote. It's not stacked.
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be one.
When I say stacked to the walls, like there's literally boxes, cardboard boxes.
But yeah, Don Quixote is a fire risk. Like actually, if there is a fire in a Don Quixote, every single person in that store will die.
Yeah, I don't know how Don Quixote is allowed.
Yeah. Also, if you work at Don Quixote, this chain of stores has their own theme song, which they play on loop all day in the store.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, if you're a Western like Yakuza fan, you love this song because it's the song that plays whenever you walk by or go into this place. But if you are a minimum wage worker who works at Don Quixote in Japan, you probably want to fucking kill yourself.
I have a fucking Pavlovian reaction when I walk into a shop now. I expect the noise to play.
Don Quixote.
Not even the song, not even that. You know the noise that plays whenever you walk into a shop in Yakuza?
Oh, yeah.
That's in my brain now.
So yeah, Kiryu is buying dog food, which was immediately alarming to me because it hadn't quite clocked to me that they had done the time skip. I genuinely were like, why is the 10 billion missing in the 90s, right? Because I was like, there's no way they could have just skipped the entire opening without mentioning any of what happened in it, right? They did.
The other reason we're explaining all this is this film takes place in game chronologically about 4 hours.
Yeah, like 4 hours into the game. Yeah.
And Yakuza 1 is the original anyway. Is not that long of a game. Like in comparison to
it can still be like a 15-hour-long game, the original.
Yeah, but like not like a 60-hour.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even Kiwami itself is only like 25 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, but like when I say not that long of a game, I mean compared to like the later Yakuza.
Yeah, later. Yeah, like if you do all of the side content in Yakuza 0, that will easily like be an almost 100-hour
70 hours in 0.
I think Yakuza.
Yeah.
I think Yakuza 7 is the one that took the cake, I think.
Oh yeah, Yakuza 7 is a long-ass game. That's because they made it into a JR... They made it into a JRPG and combined it with being a Yakuza game, so you just basically took the two longest possible games you possibly could and just shoved them
together. So completionist for Yakuza 7 is 102 hours.
But yeah, so Kiryu is shopping for dog food, which is like, okay, what the fuck is going on here? What is the pacing of this movie? Why is he already doing this? And
because shopping for dog food is a big plot point, because it means that he's already met a character and he's already got like what?
Yeah, and as he's buying dog food, he gets attacked by some dudes with knives.
We saw at the start who had the flip phone was starting shit.
Oh, he doesn't appear yet. He comes after. He's like reinforcements once. All right, yeah.
Okay, this
movie gets. Yeah, this movie understands the combat like to a T. Like every fight scene is like, yeah, you understand this.
A bunch of dudes.
Okay.
It's literally Kiryu walks into a shop, starts like having a conversation, and then just a guy walks up and tries to attack him. That is.
Well, what I think personally is really funny about this is that, like, it gets the spirit of the combat. It's obviously not the same because you can't directly translate a video game combat to a movie. Except when you see Majima fight later on, the actor is doing fully all of the video game boss fight moveset.
100%.
And it's like, how are you doing this?
Okay, so the cast is all generally fairly good.
We'll get Majima is perfect. Majima is perfect. Majima is like they actually somehow plucked the NPC out of the game and put him in here. It's like, how did they do this? How did you make him a real guy?
So this is literally how the games go. Kiryu's just minding his business, and a dude just goes, "Ah!" And that literally happens in this movie. And it goes exactly about how it would go in the game.
They all get the shit. They all get the absolute fucking shit kicked out of them.
And this is where we get to talk about the combat. The dude who plays Kiryu is
he's good. He's good. He's choreographed so well.
And he is doing such a good job here.
And of course, if you've played the games, yes, they do CG effects of like the heat flames.
Yeah, so I knew this movie existed. I wasn't prepared.
Oh, I knew about that. I knew about that already, but I also knew about a certain scene towards the end of the movie, at least a clip from it. But we'll get there.
It's a brilliant fight. Kiryu beats up all the dudes, and then we get, because this movie, like Tampopo, we've got some vignettes. We've got
Kiryu doesn't kill any of them. He doesn't kill anyone.
Yeah, we cut to a host club, which is supposed to be Stardust from which they never mention the name of this club once. I don't think they never call it Stardust. The only reason, I kind of guessed it was supposed to be Stardust, and then the only reason I realized it actually was because they mentioned Kazuki's fucking Kazuki's name later on. And that is him. Okay, but there's just a dude in there, and it's really confusing because they're like, Kazuma-san from the Tojo clan told us to look after him. And I'm like, huh? But the guy who they get told to look after in the game is Kiryu.
This is Mr. Korean. He will be with us.
This is just a random Korean dude they have put in the movie.
Yeah, because shut up.
So after that stupid aside, we go back to the cool part of the movie. Which is back to the fight again.
So we mentioned that one. There's also a young couple we met at the Konbini store, and there's also the cop. Not yet. All right, okay. I will talk about them when we get to that because I have thoughts about them too. But it's 88 degrees Fahrenheit, I think. It's like 40 degrees inside.
Yeah,
and now the big guy shows up. We see.
Yeah, and it's so good, Ryan. Kiryu tries to grab the guy and he can't do it. Yeah. He gets like the animation from the game when like the guy breaks out because you don't have the throw big guy upgrade.
Kiryu, you like the required upgrade to throw big guy.
It's so good.
There's another thing I wanted to point out. In this scene where Kiryu's doing the fight, he does the fucking heat action stomp on a guy.
He does. This guy, he does heat actions.
And like anytime there's like a finishing move, you could probably like go, I think that's this heat action.
Well, the movie is like, just to make sure you know it's a heat action, they do the blue flame thing. Just so you know it's a heat action.
So they don't do the blue flame every time it happens.
A lot of the time,
they do the flame once or twice, and that means so heat's a thing, right?
Oh yeah,
got it.
It is a thing.
We will see you later.
It's here,
and we'll see later. But the other thing is Kiryu.
Okay, also, I want to explain to this if you were listening to this. If you were listening to this and you don't know anything about Yakuza. Sorry, I just want to say this very quickly just to explain this. If you want to know what heat flames are, if you've seen someone like powering up and going Super Saiyan in Dragon Ball, that is what heat is. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ryan, you go on.
Kiryu at multiple points in this movie, someone tries to punch him, and he does like a quick jab at them that, like, has like a big sound effect to it. He is doing the most broken move from the game.
Shouldn't know it yet. If he doesn't have the big guy grab, he shouldn't know the tiger drop yet.
Honestly, my favorite part about this move is it's like this legendary move that Kiryu has learned and learned.
He has to relearn it over and over again in every game.
Basically, it becomes a plot point where Kiryu keeps just forgetting how to do the most OP move in the game, and then he doesn't get it.
I mean, there's also, like, this is such a supposedly, like, amazing move that the same guy who teaches it to Kiryu tries to teach it to Majima in Zero, and he just can't learn it.
Yep, it's like it has to. It's basically you have to be like a beast of a person to learn this move, and it's like it's basically it is the ultimate move of offense and defense or whatever. Or something like that, if I remember. You cannot be. It negates all damage. That's it.
Yeah, we have a dude. We have a dude appearing now.
Because we cut away to a batting cage, and
oh, this is the natural habitat of the Goro Majima, the batting cage.
Meow.
This is where
he just hangs out. Okay, this is where
I get this movie now.
Yeah. In this movie, he just hangs out in the batting cage all day, and that's what he does in this game.
And he makes his fucking like men just stand there and watch, and they have to stand there like, you know, arms behind.
Also, which is really great, but we get another like shitty part about the way they skip around things and don't explain things is that Majima has to learn about Kiryu being out of prison and the 10 billion yen.
One of his guys is like, yo, boss, the plot is happening. Would you like to get involved in the plot?
Because like Kiryu getting out of prison was like the big thing everybody knew about immediately. And also the 10 billion yen everybody knew about because essentially at the start of the sort of 2005 section, the chairman of the Tojo clan, Chairman Sarah, has like an emergency meeting where he's like, everything is fine, everybody, don't worry about anything. And then Nishiki fully stands up in the middle of the meeting and then goes, hey, what about the 10 billion yen that went missing?
Don't worry about it.
And then right after this meeting, Sarah gets fucking clapped.
I know we're talking about this, but like, I just want to talk about a bit in the fight scene. I'm pretty certain whenever there's like a heat mode thing, there's like a slight like sharp cut and a loud bang happens or something happens in, but like whenever he takes out a guy, there's like a noise.
He's pressing the triangle button on his controller.
He takes someone's head and smashes it into like the shelves, and it literally cuts harshly and goes boom. And it's like that.
It's transitioning to the cutscene from the gameplay.
Also, the first time you see the blue flames in this is Kiryu does essentially a tiger drop, and it has almost the sound effect of you have finished the bad guys in the random battle place.
Yes.
And his fist is glowing on fire. And then he does what he does in the game. He literally resumes mutual pose, looks up and goes... And then literally looks up and goes... Like, this movie is so...
Like, all of the... I just can't enough state how every actor in this movie is choreographed like they spent like all of like production being told that every day of their life they can only move in ways that are character animations from basically, this PlayStation 2 game. It's so good. But yeah, again, when I mention the whole 10 billion thing again, the murder of Chairman Sarah is also a really important plot point, not in this movie. Because it frames like the whole conspiracy about the missing money, right? Again, not in this movie.
Kitty, what do you want? Kitty, give mommy some
Hi, Kitty. So yeah, he beats up his one of his dudes, like really just beats him to death basically, because the guy is like, I'm sorry, I don't know where Kiryu is. We get the fucking first scene of Crime Couple.
Crimes. Yeah.
And this crime couple is an exact... In fact, it's confirmed by a scene later on that this is who I thought these two were. So there is an entire plot line in the game relating around a information broker who lives in the sewer Las Vegas. And at one part later on in the game, you do him a favor where you help his estranged son not get murdered by the Yakuza because he ran away with one of a Yakuza boss's daughter. And this is that couple, but the character they're supposed to be related to is not in this movie, but for some reason they're still here.
Yeah, they're just here for the Vine.
Towards the end of the movie, with the scenes they appear, and I just stopped writing about them.
Yeah, no, they're not in this movie for anything good.
And yeah, they're on ha, let's go on a stealing spree. And after we get this nonsense scene, we go back to a more nonsense scene at the bank.
Which is, again, another nonsense scene where it's too hot, there's no money, what do we... I don't care.
I'm just going to say this now. I get the feeling all of these nonsense scenes were added because they went, okay, we have all of these cool fight moments and all these amazing...
Well, no, because
about 20
then
minutes.
they could have put in all the stuff that was missing instead of wasting time.
I know that, but I bet you someone went, oh, that won't work in a movie, it only works in a video game. I bet you someone...
Yeah, you can make changes for a movie.
Oh,
and you know what? The crime couple is stupid, but you know what? I completely agree with the decision to not have purgatory in this movie. Because the only reason that's in the story at all is to give a contrived reason for you to discover all of the gambling and fight and Coliseum optional fights. It's just an excuse to get you into an area where some optional gameplay is, and to tell you that there is some optional gameplay you can do there.
It is literally.
But all of the information that Kiryu gets from the information broker in the game is information that the dudes he is beating up already know. So he can just learn it by beating dudes up.
Oh, there is something I forgot to mention. When Majima is introduced, there's this random old dude with dyed yellow fucking hair but bald in the middle. He's just spraying water out of a hose above him.
He's got to make sure the boss is cool.
And it literally looks like a fucking random encounter you'd see in the game of a creepy old pervert. I'm not kidding. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Okay. Oh yeah, we get Haruka suddenly appearing now.
Yeah, Kiryu is looking after a child and a dog.
Yeah. So the way they meet in the game is that Kiryu is searching for leads about where Yumi is, and is told that there is a bar. There's a bar where they know, she owns a bar somewhere. We don't know where it is, but there is a place where, there's a bar where the guy who owns it knows where, everything is. And then when you go there, everyone has been shot to death and murdered, and you find Haruka crouched behind the bar, cowering in fear for her life, holding a gun.
We briefly get a third of that scene with Kiryu and Haruka in a shot-up bar.
But that is how they meet in the game, and it's so important that's how they meet. But in the movie, they've already met. It's fine. And they're feeding dog.
What is this dog?
I guess. This boy is Mame. He is he's a good boy.
That's all I need to know. He's a good boy. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, so there's a plot line in the game where you come across like some thugs who are like throwing stones at a stray dog.
Beat them.
So you beat them up and you start feeding the dog and getting him water and stuff.
So this isn't Mame.
It is Mame. It is Mame because
no, Mame is Yakuza 3.
No, because Mame, he appears in this game and they lose him at the end. Kiryu meets this dog again in Yakuza 2 and ends up sending it to the orphanage, his childhood orphanage, because Haruka's staying there while he's working, and then they take Mame to Okinawa with them.
No,
they do not? Is it not the same dog?
No.
I could have sworn it is the same dog.
Mame is a stray dog that shows up in Yakuza 3 that reminds
it reminds them of that dog. Yeah, sorry, you're right. Yeah. It's not the same dog, you're right. Okay, yeah, sorry.
It could have been.
You're right. It should have been, probably.
It wasn't.
Yeah, then they're like, hey, dog, that's cool. And then we get a really funny scene, not because of the movie being funny, but because of there's dudes in the bar again, and one of the guys there is this bald, like, tattooed tough guy, and I thought this guy was Nagoshi, so at this point, I, like, went to, like, the cast list to be like, did Nagoshi put himself in the movie? And it turns out, yes, he did, but he's someone else.
I'm just going to say this. All of the random guys in this film, like Majima's henchmen, the fucking random thugs, they all look like they could have been from a Yakuza game. Like they have the right outfits, the right body types, the right weird faces.
Oh my god,
sorry, guys, the right weird faces, the right everything.
The early PS3 games are kind of like this to a similar extent. But what's really funny about all of like the goons in like these in like the early games as well is like all of the main characters are like super detailed for the time, and even up to the early PS3 games, every side character and generic thug is like PS1. But yeah, you carry on, Ryan. Sorry.
Manjima even has like the one guy who's like huge but like meek, who shows up on the Yakuza. It's like, what the fuck? Like the guy who tells him about the 10 billion yen is like this massive man who was just terrified.
Oh no,
it's my boy, Massive Man.
Yeah, who was terrified. And he's wearing like the most ill-fitting suit again, like all the NPCs would. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. Carry on, sorry.
So yeah.
You know who I wish was in this movie? He technically doesn't appear for the first time until 2. He is mentioned in Kiwami, but I wish Nishida was in this movie. He's like one of Majima's dudes who is like a dude who goes along with whatever Majima says, but is constantly afraid and baffled by what his boss is doing.
And terrified that he's gonna just get...
Well, that's the thing, is like every other like Majima guy is like, yes boss, of course boss, like they're terrified, but Nishida is just a dude who is like, Majima, are you sure? Like, he is like, he's constantly baffled and being like, no, you can't possibly mean that, can you?
It feels like Nishida was just a guy Majima went, and you're in my bed now.
Say no.
I like you.
Yeah, he's like at the threshold where he's too scared to say no, but like normal enough to still be like, dude, what the fuck? What are you doing?
It's like, it really feels like Majima went, I need a guy who can like let me know if I've gone too far.
I just need a regular guy.
I need a regular guy, and
they sort of introduce him slightly in Kiwami. They make so with the Majima Everywhere system, they have Nishida be the guy who's like constantly texting you, being like, "I'm really worried about what my boss is doing. Can you please do a wellness check on him?"
That's not what he says in the text, but like, it's basically what he says in the text.
Yes, please do a wellness check on Majima.
It's fucking incredible. It's always a trap, but like it's
half a trap. It is half a trap because Nishida has told him. Yeah, Majima has told Nishida to do this, but Nishida is also really worried about the thing he's doing, and he is like. He's like, okay, dude, this is a trap, but I am genuinely worried about him. He's doing some stupid shit again. Please stop.
My boy. Kiryu, please check in on your chap. Your chap being fucking Majima. Yeah. Anyway, so we find out that the mystery man is he's Korean. He's a guest of Mr. Kazuma. He makes a mean drink. They don't matter. What also doesn't matter is the scene with the behead do crimes, who are complaining that it's too hot to be doing crime.
I don't care. I don't care about them. I'm not going to mention them ever again.
Discuss them at the end, but we don't.
We don't. They appear at the end just to grab some money. At the end, they don't matter. They don't matter.
Want to talk about
none of the scenes they're in matter. I won't talk about them. I don't care. Okay, fine.
They are inconsequential, but they change the vibe of the ending.
You don't even need.
Fair.
I don't care. I'm not talking about them.
Anyway, we're back in the good stuff because do you know who else is out and about in Kamurocho?
Yeah, this is the Majima Everywhere system before the Majima Everywhere.
This is the only piece of music that feels like purposely made.
I can't describe it. I honestly cannot describe it. Go, just type Yakuza movie Majima into YouTube and you will find this as one of the first results. So yeah, he's gathered the posse, he's got some weird-ass music playing. This is like the scene from the movie everyone has seen. He's strolling down the street, and all of his boys are just like beating him, and all of his boys are just beating the shit out of random people standing in the way while screaming Kiryu and being like, "Where are you?"
No, not even screaming Kiryu, going Kiryu-chan.
Yeah.
Kiryu.
Also,
The other Yakuza have to show up at the end going, "What the fuck are you doing?"
So yeah, there's a bunch of dudes with knives. He gets some random encounters himself
with his fucking baseball bat.
And then he fucking swings a baseball at a guy's head.
Well, that's how it culminates. That's how it culminates. Yeah.
It doesn't. No, he doesn't hit anyone for a while. He's walking down the street while his men are hitting people. The first guy Majima hits, he throws a baseball, swings it at someone, and it literally spirals into their head.
Yes, and it just keeps rolling over and over again.
Keeps spinning.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is just the subtitles being weird, but for some reason the subtitles have Majima saying, "Okay, Daddy?"
Hey, Daddy?
I do not know if this is correct.
But on the other hand, it's Majima.
This doesn't sound right.
But it also could be Majima saying that.
Yeah, that's sure. Majima.
Daddy. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a huge street fight at this point, which Majima just walks away from, because it turns out you can just walk away from a street fight
if it sucks.
As long as you've got enough people fighting, you can just walk off.
So this is actually interesting. One of the things they chose to include from the game is a random adult video store that has a weapon shop in it, which is just mostly side content that has nothing to do with the plot of the game whatsoever. But they're like, we're gonna have this guy show up so many times in this movie.
To see this guy because he sells weapons and information.
And it's like everybody knows about this guy. Even Kiryu already knows about this guy, which he shouldn't because
This is the one time I'm going to mention it. Even the fucking crime couple know about this guy, and
the whole point of this thing was that it was so super secret and unbelievable that nobody would know about it unless they were in the know. Like, you have to be like, this is like racist golf club where you have to be like referred by someone who's already a member.
Racist to join the golf club, which is every golf club. Yes.
Hello, what is your name? Why? I'm white. Yes, but your name.
My name is Marco.
Oh.
Yeah. If you're Italian or any kind of Eastern European or Irish, you cannot join.
If you have a surname,
my name is Marco Goldsmith. Of the Italian Goldsmiths. Too Jewish. An Italian Jewish man.
Oh my god, he's Italian and Jewish? And he did a gap year in Czechoslovakia.
He's a communist as well?
Yeah, I love, yeah, this is like still during the Soviet era, and you do a gap year you do a gap year beyond the Iron Curtain.
What you do. It's the fashion. And then you become homosexual, as was the fashion.
Everyone knows that not only can you just go there, you can also just go back, right?
Yeah, you go there, you do a gap year in communism, and then you come back and you're like, yay capitalism. And you're back on the team.
Yeah, you go, yay capitalism, like 100 billion deaths,
will not be
whatever.
enough to feed the slave machine.
And again, I want to point, just because we're on the topic, I want to point out the infamous, like, book that has, like, the toll of every death that communism is responsible for. You know what it includes in that? It includes every German soldier and Nazi who died in Stalingrad is a victim of communism.
I think those guys deserved it.
Victim?
I think they had it coming.
Like, that is how much that book goes to stretch the definition of, like, victims of communism, that it includes fatalities at Stalingrad.
Checks notes. The Nazis.
It also does just mention, like, various people multiple times to, like, buff up the numbers, of course.
Yeah.
Although, so Majima goes down to get information, and he can't get the information because it costs money, is what I thought at first.
Yeah.
And,
no, this guy gives away guns and information based on vibes.
He's just a pervert.
Based on masochism.
Well, no, it's vibes and masochism.
Both are good.
Because he gives crime couple guns later on because of vibes.
Oh, there you are.
Well, yeah, but he was like not going to give it to them, but then they passed the vibe check.
No, he also does it to, like, you know, because he can sell the information that someone's doing
you're right.
And maybe, like, it's nothing to do with vibes. He's just to try to get as much money.
So yeah, this is this is a character who I don't think needs to be in this movie. He is named. He is named K.
Tommy Lee Jones,
which I forgot what the actual guy's name is, but it's supposed to be a stand-in for, like, the actual weapons guy in.
It's really weird. Oh god,
Kamiyama. Yeah, this is Kamiyama. This is supposed to be Kamiyama.
It's really weird because Kamiyama is just like a lovable.
And he's not an information guy. He's just like a dude who, like, goes around being like, "Yo, you want a, like, lightning sword that I just have for some reason?"
I took a taser and I mixed it with this ancient katana. It's a lightning sword.
Yeah.
What? But yeah, so this dude is just some weird guy who only gives out information for money or masochism. One or the other. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, Hajima's like,
I ran a host club back in the day. I know how to satisfy the customers.
Canonically speaking, at the time this movie was made, they had not established Majima as having run a cabaret club.
Not mine. Majima gets the information, finds out that there's some shit going down. There's the Nishiki clan. This is like one of the first and only times Nishiki gets mentioned. And also Majima hears some free guns. The Nishikiyama. They don't even
say
mention
the Nishikiyama clan. They don't.
They're not mentioning the guy at all. Yeah, but they say
and
the Nishikiyama clan.
Majima then goes, "Thank you for the information. I'm taking a souvenir," while the guy's on the ground like crawling, and then goes and grabs a fucking shotgun.
Great. It's Majima. It's great Majima. It's what.
He just walks out while there's still like loads of people fighting. And just starts blasting.
Also, Majima never killed anyone.
Loop shotgun.
I feel like Majima did kill.
No,
people.
It's implied that Majima kills people, and then because of Yakuza 0, they retconned him to be just like Kiryu, and that he never kills anyone.
So, all those people shot with a shotgun, they're fine.
It's fine. They're alive. They're all definitely alive.
But yeah. Anyway, Majima is...
honestly, Yakuza has this problem as a series in general, is that every main character is so strictly not allowed to have ever killed anybody that it becomes incredibly ludicrous.
And the only ones that are, it's like a major big deal, but it's like these guys have been like literally breaking people's skulls.
Well, there's
for, like,
one particular character whose whole deal is that they killed someone, that they were on death row, and that they have to.
That is way too like spoilerific and anything for anyone.
I'm sorry, you're right. Yeah.
That is like. And it's not just spoilerific. I want to see people's reactions to when they find out how dumb it is. Like there is multiple levels to that. A, it literally breaks the entire plot. B, it's so dumb. It's my favorite.
I love it so much.
It's so good. Minded Majima who's like, guys, what are you doing? Why are you dirtying up the city?
He's Italian now as well, apparently.
Yeah, I know. So the guy who Majima beat up at the start for like telling him about the 10 billion,
spits on the street,
shows back up, spits on the floor. Is like, well, no, he's going to kill Majima. Sees him walk out with a shotgun, shooting people. Goes, yes, boss, I agree with you, boss. And then Majima takes one, spits on the street while saying it. And Majima just fucking breaks his neck.
Just cold cocks this guy because he's like, do not spit on the ground. That's disgusting.
It's dead bodies covered in like waste paper and the debris from the fight.
It's like, ooh, don't spit. Ooh, gross.
Yeah. So we get like almost if Kiryu isn't fighting in this movie, every scene is him standing in a park with Haruka.
He's with the dog.
Basically the game!
Well, no, because like a lot of the game is him not standing in a park with Haruka, it's sitting in a bar with Date.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, again, bar that kind of appears in this movie. Anyway, so they're just hanging out with the dog in the park, and then Date just happens to randomly find them. And go, oh shit, that's Kazuma Kiryu there.
Yo, Kato, it's me, Date, remember?
Yeah, you know me, and then every audience member who's not seen the game is like, who is this guy? How do you know each other?
Secret? Are you like former lovers?
Yeah.
Well, it's like it's really weird how like they have the characters like be what they would be and talk to each other, but like they don't explain in any way how they know each other.
Yeah. Also, you compared him to Zenigata, and that is not fair because Date is explicitly in these games good at his job.
Really good at his job. He just has a Lupin obsession.
Okay. If you actually watch a show, whenever Zenigata isn't dealing with Lupin, he is the most efficient. No, seriously, it's scary how efficient he is.
There's got to be something that has to like not get him fired for all of the Lupin stuff.
He captures like 5 most wanted terrorists, like, and then comes back as like, boss, let me get Lupin.
Well, you know how he caught all of those terrorists, right?
Lupin fucking helped him.
No, it's because Mycroft let his sister on Twitter for an hour.
Oh, fuck off. We are not something about that when we've got this fun shit.
Yeah, we have something good on. Don't you dare bring up Sherlock Holmes. Yeah.
We get a bank scene again after this. Oh, sorry. Also, when they meet Darth is like, everyone thinks that you have the 10 billion, and tell me about the kid. Why are you with this kid?
Mr. Kazuma?
And at this point, he plot dumps about the fact that they're looking for Haruka's mom. They don't mention the fact that Yumi is like an important person.
Yeah. We're more than halfway through this film, I think, at this point, or about halfway through the film, and this is when you get the plot of the opening of the game.
Well, like a fraction of it.
Well, some of it, yeah. Like it's.
Yeah, and then Date is like, "Hey, kid, are you okay? Would you mind talking to me?" And Haruka is straight up like, "All cops. All cops means all cops, Date."
Here's the thing: Haruka has no reason for this. In like Haruka's,
well, she does, because
thing.
all cops are bastards. Right?
Honestly, no, I fully believe. No, I fully believe. Even though it's not shown in the game, I fully believe in like all of the scenes when she meets quote marks Aunt Yumi. That I could just imagine Yumi being like, "By the way, fuck cops."
I see it. No, daughter of mine is gonna be raised to like cops.
Yeah, instead she's going to be raised to love people who murder people for money.
They're pretty cool, aren't they, Kazuma?
Oh my god, there's a really important thing about Haruka that is not mentioned in this game, in this movie at all.
Nope,
the fact that Jingu, the main, like, one of the main villains of this movie is her dad.
Character.
Yeah. Also, when you say main villain of this movie,
does he have a line? He doesn't speak once. And we will get there, but yeah.
It's so bad. We get another... we got a scene with the robbers, more scenes with that lot. Where the fuck? Oh yeah, we get the musical.
And then we get the musical bit where we just get cuts between Kiryu is just sort of doing nothing and ambling around. Majima is looking for him. Date is. I don't know what Date is doing. He's on the. But he's there.
He's decided. The plot is happening. I will also go and look for Mr. Kazuma.
So yeah, Kiryu at this point shows up at Stardust, and they're all like, Kiryu! Kiryu! We know who you are, because the opening of this game definitely happened in this movie.
Kazuma Kiryu.
Also, yeah.
And they're all like, it's really crazy. We don't know where Kazuma is. Which, at this point, into the game, Kiryu in fact does know where he is.
Everyone knows where he is.
Well, vaguely knows where he is, because in the game you meet him at a secret meeting in the at this point in the game, Kiryu thinks Kazuma is dead. Because you meet him at the funeral, and he's like, I have something very important to tell you, that gets sniped.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody at this point in the game knows where, or at least thinks they know where
and that's dead. Yeah. So, yeah. Again, because, like, so much of this movie is weird in that it's sometimes hard to tell whether or not something just didn't happen in the movie or if it happened off screen.
And that's like the big thing with this movie is how much of the shit is off screen.
But yeah, like so much is off screen, but then so much is also apparently didn't happen. Yeah, right, again, as well. Like, and it's hard to tell which is which, apart from inconsistencies that appear because something else must have happened. So also they also at this point they say, oh yeah, that Mizuki lady that is supposedly Haruka's mom, she is a woman who works at a store, and like visits host clubs sometimes, which already a downgrade from where she was in the game.
So in the game, she owns a bar at the highest floor.
Well, no, but even before then, she already owned a different bar, and then when she got a bunch of money, bought an even more expensive bar.
Yeah, so there's a tower in the series called Millennium Tower, which is basically referenced one. They mention it once in the game before anything, in the movie. Sorry, before anything else happened.
Yeah, basically they built the One World Trade Center in Tokyo.
And they didn't build a gay-ass donut. They built a fuck-off tower. They didn't build a place to dangle Pierce Brosnan off.
And, no. So they built the tower, and Yumi owns a bar at the top of this tower.
Not just at the top of the tower, she owns the entirety of the top floor.
Yeah.
She owns all of the whole floor.
Essentially, she must be a billionaire.
She is a billionaire. We know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. She must have had millions beforehand.
Well, I can tell you why she's rich beforehand, because of a detail that the movie does not tell you, is that she is married to Jingu. Exactly. She is, yeah. So it's really baffling in the game. It's barely makes sense. Yeah. But apparently the shock of what happened when Dojima raped her or caused her to
and then got murdered on top of her, and then her friend went to caused her
to get amnesia.
Which, by the way, that is
and then
thing.
While she got amnesia, she fell in love with basically the head of the Japanese CIA.
No, he fucking manipulated her because he found her hot.
Yeah. Well, she falls in love because he manipulated her, but yeah. Again, there's Jingu, who is, again, not mention who he is in this movie. He is the head of Japanese CIA. Yeah, and basically the whole thing is that in the game they establish that he is incredibly corrupt and has a secret deal that he loans Chairman Serra personally 10 billion to try and help keep the Tojo clan afloat during the economic crisis. And then after everything fucks up and the Tojo clan is still doing terribly, Jingu basically shows up and is like, I want my money back now. And because he is the head of Japanese CIA, he can just go in there and take it.
He's also not just the head of CIA, he's actually a prominent politician as well.
Yeah, he is. He's also he is as well. Yeah. He just goes in.
And this character just kind of exists in
he just goes in there, takes the money, cold cocks Sarah, and everybody is panicking and being like, where did this money go? And then the funny part of it is then Yumi gets her memory back and then steals the money from Jingu and fucks off. It's so fun.
Honestly,
it's the most convoluted shit ever.
It's great.
But yeah, okay, so that's just that's explaining that because this movie never will.
Jingu is just mentioned as the monster of something. Where's this?
Japan.
Yeah, and also Korean guy wants to kill him because Seoul is mad at him, and I'm like, does he mean the Korean government or does he mean the Jingwon Korean mafia?
Yeah,
doesn't matter. Seoul bad guy.
He's Seoul, but yeah, he mentions he mentions basically Korea is unhappy with him, and it's like, why?
Why? Why is Korea mad?
I mean, later on they do mention a massacre that this guy is really mad about, which I guess is supposed to be the massacre that caused all of the secret Koreans.
Please explain the secret Koreans for the people that don't know about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
so
we just said
so in the
thinking
opening
about
of
it,
Yakuza 2, we get a flashback to the 1980s. Kazuma was a big hitman for the Tojo clan. And because the Korean mafia, the Jingwon, were muscling into their territory, Kazuma is sent to go there, cold cock every single member of the Korean mafia and all of their family members. Yep. And throughout the rest of the series, there keeps being an increasingly ludicrous amount of secret survivors from that massacre and their kids that show up, and it's like there cannot possibly be this many people.
Kiryu is just bad at his job.
Well, Kazuma is bad at his job. You mean? Yeah. There's like so many people that apparently survived.
Yeah, man's just bad at his job.
It's so dumb.
And I guess they're like supposed to be saying that this guy is one of them, and I think maybe they're doing it because for some reason they thought they were going to get another movie.
Yeah, I don't know how.
You were never getting another movie. But yeah,
So yeah, Kiryu shows up at the place where he meets the Korean guy, and then it's like,
yeah, and he's like, and I like, who's Mr. this guy? I'm like, I don't know.
Where is Mr. Kazuma? We lost him, and the 10 billion
we don't know.
yen. Anything else going on? We lost the 10 billion yen Kazuma. Kiryu.
Yeah, we then cut to the scene earlier, the aftermath of Majima's. Oh, fuck. Majima, they're all like, Date is in the scene where Majima threw down earlier, and he's telling all of his cops
Majima
to pull out.
Any minute.
And they're like,
fight this dude?
Yeah, Majima is going to be back any minute, and Kiryu is also going to be here. These two dudes are about to fight. We do not want to be here.
Yeah.
and all of the cops are like, you are right.
Bye. Thanks for the heads up, boss.
Also, then we get Crime Couple again. I don't give a shit about them. We're at the park again, and
no. Can I just say something about Crime
Couple?
Because her name, the Crime Couple female, the woman of the Crime Couple, her name is Yui as well. So I got super
right, and you got her mixed up with Yumi
because like. Wait, what? Wait, different person? Wait, she's the Crime Couple? Is that how they link in? No. Her name is just Yue.
No.
Okay. And so.
Yeah, Hope is just racist. Yeah, exactly.
Obviously.
It's also the fact that, like, the movie, like, kind of doesn't really mention the fact that there's two names,
and it's more just
they sort of do, but it's not explained. It's not clear.
That, like, the Crime Couple would have to be important. So, that's Yumi.
No,
it's just Yue. She's a fucking Eva reference. Gendo is looking for his wife to put her into a robot.
Haruka is looking at a photo of. It's like, this is my mum. Sorry, no. This is me and my aunt Mizuki, and Kiryu looks at it and goes, "Wow, she looks like a woman I knew called Yumi." And it's like, who is Yumi? We won't tell you. And it's like, oh, she works at a bar called Serena. It's like, yeah, she did 10 years ago. But yeah, also, they've made a weird change in this movie as well. So, in the game, Haruka believes her mum is Mizuki, and that she's like missing and trying to find her. But she has met Yumi a bunch of times, who is very clearly the same woman as her mum, but is like, no, I'm actually your aunt who just looks a lot like her. Whereas in the movie, they switched around the like whole aunt-mother thing so that Mizuki is the person pretending to be her aunt.
Yeah, it's confusing. It makes following it just continues to get harder especially if you know about the movie, the fucking series.
Yeah. We also we get a somewhat important. We go back to the bank, and it turns out that there's another information guy who works at the bank who knows all about money, because he works at the bank. He knows everything about money. And so Korean guy is just like awkwardly walking through all of the cops here and to talk to the bank guy, who he's been involved in some scenes with the cops before. He keeps like serving them cans of tea and beer and stuff, and
his brother is the Korean guy.
It's not his brother. He's like well, it's not. They're not related. He's going to get information from the guy, and he says he's his brother because like the cops are all looking at him and being like, "Who is this dude?" And he's like, "Oh, he's my brother. Don't you see the resemblance?" They're like, "We don't care." We're like, we've had a long fucking
80
day.
degrees, you are giving us beer, you are getting us drunk, and these robbers will not come out of there.
Yeah. So, at this point, he reveals his name is Park, and I'm here to kill Jingu because he took the money.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, okay, cool.
By the way, there's an adult video store where there's a masochist guy there. You should talk to him.
And but it's okay because we get a good scene next.
I don't know about that.
Is when fucking Kiryu shows up at Majima's batting cage.
No, it's not. There's a scene between that. There's he shows up at Serrano, which is a bar that he's been to for all of the games so far in the game, which is run by a woman named Reina, who is like Yumi's best friend and is a close friend of Kiryu and Nishiki, who has a very big, obvious, unrequited crush on Nishiki. She's a really important part of the game's plot, and she's not here. Yeah, again, this is the other bar from the game that I mentioned where they met, where he meets Haruka, and they make it this bar instead.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay, there is a fun part of this where they're like, "Don't worry, I will find your mom." There is a fun part of this scene though, where Kiryu's phone just keeps ringing, and he's just looking at it, which is funny because like that's an aspect of the game too. It's funny. They're always like, Kiryu doesn't know how technology works because he was in prison for 10 years, and it's fun that they like have that in the movie as well. And like they're standing in it awkwardly for like a while until like Haruka realizes that he doesn't know how to use a phone, and he's like, "Oh my god, look, no, let me answer it for you." This is like if you are like. Oh, okay. Ryan, okay. There's Ryan. Okay.
No, I never left.
From our perspective, you left, but for a second. But yeah, this is the moment. Which actually, I'm about to say this is the moment. I was about to compare this to something, but like Kiryu himself is actually in like the same age range as my parents. So like this is like teaching my mom how to use a phone when I was a kid.
Remember, Kiryu was in jail when phones became a
thing. Like, my mom was not, and she still didn't know how to use a phone when they came out.
Right. That's the point here. Kiryu gets, in Yakuza 1, Kiryu gets given a phone. He's like, huh? Like, actually?
Yeah. Not just because he's a boomer, which he is, but also because he doesn't know what it is. It's like a phone? A portable phone? Oh, you mean like the giant bricks?
Wait, what? That man is nowhere near a boomer. What the fuck?
Yeah, okay. He is Gen X. I know he's Gen X, but I'm calling him a boomer because it's funny.
He would know how to use a phone if he wasn't.
Yeah, kind of a bit of a problem there.
Like, yeah, Kiryu's like idea of a phone is either a landline, a telephone booth, or like one of those weird inscrutable handbag phones that no one's ever used.
literally a fucking side mission in Yakuza.
It's a Majima one. It's a Majima one, but yeah, it is a...
Yeah, Majima finds someone with one of those fucking bag phones, and it's so, like, why?
Yeah. You find someone with one of those bag phones, and, like, you go to want to use it, and then you have to go through a whole, like, convoluted thing to get, like, batteries for him. And then by the end of it, Majima is like, finally, I get to use the phone. And then he's like, puts it down immediately because he realizes he has no one to call. It's so good. And then, but then the fun part about that is that guy just keeps hanging around that spot and then becomes a new save point. Because in the older Yakuza games, you saved by going to phone booths. And that guy becomes a phone booth save point. In the modern Yakuza games, you just have a phone where you can save anywhere now. But
so everyone, because of this, everyone is getting dragged to the DVD shop, or at least Kiryu's going there. Majima's going there because Kiryu's going there.
Yeah.
And the two plot lines we don't care about are going there because we don't care. And Majima meets Kiryu, and they steal the fucking show together.
Oh yeah, so Kiryu is basically on his way to the video place and then gets intercepted by Majima.
Come with me to the batting cages.
Yep.
Come with me to the batting cage, and this baby, this is the boss fight, the big Majima boss fight from the game, and it's perfect.
It's perfect, but they literally say we need to continue what we started 10 years ago. And I'm like, what thing?
Don't worry about it.
What happened 10 years ago?
In both the context of the movie and having played the game, what thing that happened 10 years ago?
I mean, in Kiwami...
Yeah, there is a, like, I will fight you to prove, like, my worth. But that is a thing that appears in Kiwami. To explain the Majima Everywhere system. This is like, it was like 10 years ago. Nothing happened 10 years ago. Like they met in an alleyway and they were like, hey, cool, and then left.
You're a big man. I'm a big man.
But yeah, so this fight scene... Okay, please let me.
Oh, it's so good.
This fight scene starts, and it's so well choreographed because Majima is using his knife and he hasn't really used his knife yet. It's Kiryu, so he draws the knife. And he uses it in the correct way, and Kiryu is just dodging everything. And his goons fucking say, wow, Kiryu's great, and then Kiryu just stands there, lets Majima walk right by him and just start beating the shit out of the guy who said it. In the middle of their fight, Majima just walks over and kicks his goon's ass, and then walks back to Kiryu.
He walks back to Kiryu. Not only does he walk back to Kiryu, he's like, hold on, Kiryu, I have to restart the dynamic intro for the boss fight again.
And then the generic metal starts playing immediately.
At this point when the generic metal started playing, I just paused it, went to YouTube and typed, receive you the prototype, and went, aha, there we go.
And I love how this fight goes because Majima is like doing the acrobatic shit that he should be doing, and Kiryu is doing the dodge and big blow he should be doing.
It's so incredible that Majima's actor is just fully somehow doing a video game boss moveset. How? How do you do this?
And Kiryu's actor is somehow doing the video game protagonist moveset.
How have they made a live-action video game fight?
And so basically, the climax of the fight is the two of them are just standing there punching each other in the face while holding their arms, and then Kiryu eventually gets the upper hand, flips Majima over, stomps on him. Like, stomps on him like 3 times, and literally a finishing move from the game, goes to walk away, the music, everything stops, and then Majima just gets up and stumbles forward, going, I'm not done. And then Kiryu punches him in the face, Majima stumbles back, I'm not done. Kiryu punches him in the face, Majima stumbles back, I'm not done. Kiryu punches him in the face, Majima stumbles back, I'm not done, falls over.
It's perfect, it's so good.
And while he's on the ground, he fucking moves his knife towards Kiryu, who he can't see, saying, "I'm not gonna lose," and is still on the ground.
It's so good.
And for a minute there, while watching this movie, I'm like, is he going to throw the knife at Kiryu from the ground? For a minute there, I thought that might happen.
Something else that happens in what happens in the video game version of this fight is that at the end of the fight, one of Majima's goons tries to like finish Kiryu for him by like charging him with a knife, and Majima jumps in the way.
Yeah, fully takes the blow. Like, doesn't like stop him.
Whereas in this version of the fight, Majima is just injured, understandably because he got beat up by a dude.
Majima's great. There's some shit at the DVD store with the two plot lines we don't care.
There is a one bit where specifically they mention Jingu, like the one time they mention Jingu's name in the movie.
Armor again.
Yeah, and I want to mention that just because Korean guy gets a sniper rifle.
No,
which will be important, which is going to be important for something we talk about.
Fallout 4 revolver sniper rifle.
He gets a fucking revolver and says, "Oh, I need a silencer and some upgrades and all that," and just fucking. The next time you see him with that gun, it looks like a goddamn cobbled together fucking
it's a Fallout
gun. Yeah, you're right. Because he just shoves the stock on it, shoves a silencer on it, shoves the scope. What is it, dude? Just buy a rifle. Like why?
Also, I fucking forgot to mention. At the start of the movie, with like the bank segment bit, the cops mentioned that the guys are using like heavily modified weapons. And I fully went, "Yo, these dudes are using the Shinzo Abe
if
gun."
If only they had been using the device.
Say with this.
No.
Again, I love that has had a positive effect on the world.
Shinzo Abe was murdered, and the world is better for it. Unironically.
Anyway, the illegal gun store where they take your photo, blah 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 blah. Kiryu gets his suit sliced up, and we find there's a scene with the robbers where they ordered expensive food and they're giving it all to the bank staff as well. And then we get a good scene again because Majima's back in the movie because he's in an ambulance. We're skipping a lot because there's so much nothing in two plot lines.
Yeah. Imagine was in an ambulance. Like, this is not a scene that happens in the game. However, considering what happens later on in the game, it's a scene that must have had to have happened in the game, right?
It's also an actual perfect.
Yeah, it's a perfect scene. Like, again, it's a perfect scene.
It's like 10 massive dudes in an ambulance with bloody knocked out Majima and 2 like fucking guys trying to like do their job, and we're like, listen, if you don't like let us get to him, you know, you're gonna kill our boss.
And then Majima immediately pops up, goes to the front of the ambulance, beats up the ambulance driver, and is like, turn this thing around, we're going back. And again,
no, he doesn't just beat up the ambulance driver. He helmets the ambulance driver's helmet with his head, and
he says, "My fucking tax is safe for this ambulance, so you're in my employ. Turn this bus around."
So, and again, while this didn't happen in the game, when I saw this scene in the movie, I just went, "Oh my god, this had to have actually happened. Like, he must have done this, right?"
Yeah, it's such an Majima thing to do.
The only way we can explain how he reappears in this game is that he must have done this.
Perfect. It's perfect. It's brilliant.
So good.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, we get the scene. We get a scene where Korean guy is practicing with his gun, and we see the crime couple again.
Yakuza that are menacing the crime couple. Doesn't matter.
Kiryu now goes to the masochist weapons guy. And this is actually, I think this part is, like, out of, like, character for Kiryu. Because, like, Kiryu would not do this. Like, he would go to the information guy would name his price, and then Kiryu would be like, alright, guess I better pay that then.
Your price is some masochism? Okay, what's your safe word?
In this scene... But like, in this scene, Kiryu just acts like Majima. I think it's just,
oh shit, we're running out of time. We spent too long with the fucking...
Yeah. Yeah, he's like just beating up the guy. Where is Yumi? Where is Mizuki?
Where are the other drugs going?
And then he's like, okay, you have to go to the bathhouse, the illegal bathhouse brothel, because we have to do the next Majima scene.
This movie, Majima is the best thing in this movie. Also, the twink that's been assisting Kiryu and the Korean guy is like, oh yeah, he's a host. Don't fall for his charms because, hey, hostessing is a thing in the game.
We also just get a brief glimpse of Jingu getting into a helicopter. And then I'm like, holy shit! Okay, that dude, that is Nagoshi. That is him.
Yeah, and Kiryu, of course, takes a child into a private bathhouse.
Yeah, that does happen. To be fair, this does happen in the game as well, and it happens exactly the same way, where everyone is like, "Sir, you cannot bring a child here."
And Kazuma Kiryu, I do what I want.
But yeah, one like difference between this and like the actual like bathhouse place in the game is called Shangri-La, and it's like this ostentatious like Roman-looking building, right? And then in the movie, I guess, because of budget, it's just like a seedy, shitty bar.
But then you get to the fight scene, and it's quite ostentatious again. It's so good.
Oh, it's so good. So good. So good. So good.
Brian, do you want to take us through the next Majima scene?
Yeah,
so good. Right?
Okay, so I will let you do that, but for context, in the game, Kiryu just has like a section of the game where he just goes through a gauntlet of dudes, doesn't encounter Majima until he leaves. However, Ryan...
In the game, Majima attacks Kiryu by fucking driving a goddamn what's it called? Like a digger?
No, it's a full lorry. He's driving like a truck, like a semi-truck through this building.
Through the building. And Kiryu has to run away through the building from a fucking truck while Majima is screaming and driving it after him.
No, he just crashed. No. In the game, he crashes through the building and then totals. No, he just totals. He totals it because he crashed into a building.
Am I thinking of Kiwami rather than one?
No, yeah. No, he just totals it, and then like all of his boys get out. You have to beat up the boys, and then you fight him again.
Yeah. Okay, so in
the movie, oh my god, it's so good.
Kiryu shows up to the bathhouse, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, she's here. Don't worry about it." Like, why are you bringing a child though? He's like,
and by the way, there's like a curtain at the back.
Yeah. So they tell Kiryu to sit down. Kiryu sits down, sees the guy walk behind him to the bar. Somehow, superhuman senses notice the guy has left, realizes something is wrong, dodges behind the chair, and as he dodges, a shotgun blast comes through the fucking curtains. You get the fucking noise that of generic Japanese, like, king noise or whatever plays. The curtains open, and Majima's just sitting there like a fucking emperor going,
it's like, you know the sound. It's like that generic, like, shamisen, like, strum, like chord. Like the one chord on a shamisen that they play in, like...
Big important man is showing up. Play the chord.
Yeah.
And there's like...
It's Majima sitting on a fucking throne!
Yeah. Flanked by his goons, or like royal guards, and then literally like 10, 15 people just start shooting at Kiryu, and Kiryu's hiding behind a bar, and it's just like, Okay, I will say, Majima does straight up go, "Hey, by the way, no one shoot the kid."
Yeah, and well, not only that, Kiryu is like, "Don't worry, he's a good guy. You can trust him. Go upstairs and look for your mum." And then as soon as Haruka pops out, Majima's like, "Stop, everybody!" Music cuts. Everyone stops firing, and it's like, "Let the kid up. Let the kid up."
Go. Child on the range. Child on the range. And then they'll start reloading. I reckon just slowly stands up, looks absolutely.
Oh, and Majima's like, "I hope you find your mom."
Oh, it's kind of it is like that is like again every Majima part of this movie is peak Majima. It feels like the people who made this movie have a confused understanding of the games, but perfectly somehow understand Majima.
Majima says, and Haruka says, "If you kill Mr. Kiryu, I'll kill you." And Majima goes, looks actually depressed. He goes, "Oh, that's not good." And then when he runs away, he looks like actually downtrodden and looks really like not sure what himself. And then just goes, "All right, start shooting."
Kiryu fully does the scene. It happens in a different place in the game, but he fucking fully does the thing where he just like throws a waiter into gunfire to protect himself.
And then he does. No, Kiryu then does what is essentially must be a heat action, or like it's not in the game, but it's a heat action in the movie. He flings a shard of a pot or something at the big guy. He falls over a bit awkwardly and then just shotguns his friend in the chest. His friend shotguns a guy on the balcony, and while this is going on, Kiryu dives out, grabs a shotgun, and just starts blasting.
Episode where Jigen does that, does that make that a reference to Yakuza?
Fuck it, who cares? So Kiryu starts blasting, shoots like every guy, and then it cuts to like a scene where Kiryu and Majima are standing apart.
Oh, it's so good.
In a room full of dead bodies and smoke, and have you seen Old Boy? It's like that camera angle of like the fucking hallway scene, and then they just start walking to each other.
And yeah, they go right up to each other, and they keep trying. They're just repeatedly racking a shotgun over and over again for no reason, aggressively at each other.
They have they're both out of ammo, so they're racking the shotgun and pulling the trigger, and racking the shotgun and pulling the trigger, and walking up to each other. It's literally like an animation from a video game. It is ridiculous. And then when they get up to each other, they both start racking the shotgun at like 100 miles an hour, and Majima starts going, "Ah!"
And then Kiryu just fucking cold cocks him.
No. They both throw the shotguns away and turn around, frame perfect timing, punch each other in the face at the same time.
It's so good.
Yeah, and then Kiryu gets up and goes to look for Harry.
No. Majima's lying on his back, blood in his mouth, and do you know what he says? He says, "Kiryu-chan, you're so cool."
Oh yeah, he does. And then he goes, then he goes up. That's not a helicopter, is it?
No, it cuts to the helicopter.
Not yet. Is it just... Okay, just a second, okay.
It cuts to the helicopter for a few seconds, and there's like someone typing on a keyboard ominously.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, yeah. And then, he goes up to look for Haruka, and then immediately Majima appears again.
Oh no, he's looking for Haruka, and then he's screaming, and then she just opens the door behind him, and she's like, "No, I didn't find her." And then Kiryu's walking around confused. Haruka points into the distance like she's pointing
directly at the camera.
No, she's pointing at the fucking WrestleMania sign, and then fucking the camera does a swivel, and Majima is standing there with one eye out, the eye that is fucking with the eye patch staring at Kiryu, and he goes, "I'm gonna get you."
And then he just keeps like batting baseballs at him, and Kiryu.
His goon walks out, crouches on like a bucket of baseballs, and starts throwing them up for Majima.
And Kiryu just keeps walking towards him, no-selling every single baseball.
That's what Kiryu does. Fucking tanks the hits for no good reason. He has, in the game and in this movie,
it's Kiwami. It's on Kiwami. It's Kiwami. He's turned extreme heat mode on.
In the game and the movie, he has shown at there's multiple points at this point point that he could dodge all of these. No, he tanks it for no discernible reason.
This should be gameplay Kiryu, so he should be like repeatedly falling over every time he gets hit by one of these. Should be like slowly edging towards him while just falling over constantly.
Also, the goon that's throwing Majima the baseballs is literally bleeding out on the floor while doing it.
It's perfect.
And then actually dies midway through.
Pause.
And Kiryu's like, "Hey, can we just stop this?" And Majima like looks at him, nods solemnly, and like looks down at the floor, and the music cuts out. And then he just looks up holding a baseball. Goes, nah.
Yeah, Kiryu just beats him down, and then Majima is going like full Black Knight from like the Holy Grail.
But this is the baseball that actually makes Kiryu react, and it's also he does the motion for when he gets stabbed in like the game, and then Majima runs up and starts swinging the bat. Kiryu does what he does in Zero. He blocks a metal like pipe or bat with his arms.
Sorry, I forgot this. I forgot this just because I wrote as my note menacing baseball bat, and I was like, what did I mean by this?
Yeah, the baseball bat is like smashing through walls.
Kiryu starts blocking.
Yes.
But Kiryu can block it. It hurts him, but he can block it.
And then
Majima gets it stuck in the wall, and Kiryu just starts beating him again.
Yeah, and then he gets Majima. He gets Kiryu's head. He knocks him down, and he gets his head between his thighs. And then I was like, "Damn, wish this was me." And then somehow at the same time, you know that Majima is looking down at Kiryu between his thighs and being like, "Damn, I wish that was me."
You also missed the part where Majima opens a door and slams it into Kiryu's head like 5 times.
Like, oh my! Like, this is a.
By the way, when we say head between his thighs, Majima, if you don't know, is wearing the tightest leather trousers.
He's wearing the tightest leather trousers, and he's doing a full Xenia honor top on.
The leather crotch is literally on Kiryu's chin.
Yeah, he is fully doing a Xenia honor top on Kiryu.
And Majima is about to kill him. He is about to kill him when suddenly a gun goes
fucking
off.
Shintaro Kazuma,
and who has not yet appearing in this film.
Hi, Kiryu, I'm here to save you.
This
is my role in the plot. Done. Goodbye.
And also, I'm here because Date found me, and also Date has found out where the finale is taking place.
Yeah. It's at the Millennium Tower, also not yet mentioned in this film. And
we get the first shot of Nishiki.
We get something that made me go, oh my boy.
And it's like Nishiki slowly coming up an escalator, and we see the actor playing him for the first time, and I just think, no.
We saw the hair, and I went, okay, that's not too bad. And then I saw
I'm so sorry. This guy looks like he's in his 40s or 50s, and I'm like, I am so sorry, dude.
He looks like 40s or 50s, and also he just doesn't look like...
Well, he looks like no disrespect to you older guys out there, he just looks like an older guy that's doing a cosplay, right? He's like showing up. He's at the escalator. He's like showing up to like Gamescom. He's just a cosplayer.
It's honestly kind of like how ridiculous how bad he is compared to everyone else.
And then after we see him, when Kiryu is leaving the bathhouse, he gets shot for no other reason other than to give him a reason to acquire a health item for later.
And a reason for him to take off his shirt.
Yes.
We get shot so he can take off his shirt and have the fucking
he gets a stamina and he gets a stamina spark.
He gets a binding that he had, like, you literally equip as your first gear item in every Yakuza game. He takes his shirt off so you see the fucking tattoo. He gets a stamina, like, fucking in the game.
It's a health. He fully gets a health item, and like, I'm not making a joke. It's an actual health item that he picks up.
And it also feels like, I think, did Kiryu have a wound when he fought Nishiki in the game?
I think he's just generally beat up because he just fought all of Jingu's guys.
No, I think he gets shot by Jingu before
he
fights Kiryu, before he fights Nishiki.
That might be right, yeah.
And I think that they didn't have Jingu as like a thing.
Oh, so Jingu arrives properly in the movie at this point, and the arrival of his helicopter, one helicopter, causes an earthquake. Why? How?
Is the answer?
Kiryu arrives at the ground.
Okay, hang on. It's either Jingu shot Kiryu or Jingu shot someone, but someone gets shot, and like that doesn't happen in the movie.
No.
So I feel like they
also we have like the final fight here, and it's just them on the ground floor lobby of the Millennium Tower, which is very important for what happens at the end. It doesn't make sense now because of this, and he gives his whole speech about, I'm going to surpass you, Kiryu. You have no reason. No one has any reason to know why I have.
You've not been mentioned at all.
You are. But no, I feel like we didn't give enough attention to the stamina scene, by the way, because it's not just like he gets given a bottle.
They fully zoom in on the mini fridge.
They zoom in on they zoom in on the stamina X, the stamina XX, and the stamina Spark.
Yeah,
they have every single fucking stamina in the goddamn fridge.
Yeah. So
it's so weird.
Yeah. Like all of Nishiki's motivation in the game is because everyone thinks that Kiryu is the guy that killed Dojima, and thus everyone thinks Nishiki is a pussy. Makes it very known how much they think he's a pussy.
It's also not just that. Kiryu was always seen as the strong badass who was like going to be the next leader.
So everyone is always constantly being like, why couldn't Kiryu have been here instead of you?
Yeah, Nishiki, why couldn't you have been the one who shot him?
I
am! Sure you are, buddy. Stop taking credit for Kazuma Kiryu's one.
Also, I'm not gonna say. Also, when Nishiki takes his shirt off, it's like, dude, you don't look like a fighter. You're kind of like, I don't know.
And we get the final fight, and it's the worst goddamn fight scene in this movie. It's so awful.
You're a bit pudgy, and it's like.
So yeah, all of Nishiki's guys just beat the shit out of Kiryu.
Like, he is fully out of it.
And they're all trying to grab him and pull him away, and then they like pull him upwards, and he's drinking the health item.
Literally in frame, they pull him up into frame, and in frame he's drinking
downing the whole bottle.
And they also seem to recognize what this means, because in slow motion you hear one of them go, "Oh!"
Yeah, they go fully DBZ at this point. Both of them, both Kiryu and Nishiki get the full heat flames, and you're like,
no, you're not there yet. The goons run away when they see him drinking it. It zooms in on a fucking flaming background with the stamina, and it literally cuts to all the things that says maintain.
Oh god,
heat
and again,
and it has a fucking theme
and again,
song.
like I can't stress enough to everybody that this is not product placement. This is a fictional drink.
Like, and then as soon as Kiryu finishes drinking it, he throws it away. And just like how the game would work, he unpauses the game like he would in the video game. No, seriously. If you watch everyone standing around him in this scene, they're not moving. Their faces are not moving. They are clearly paused. I'm
like looking at this scene and being like, finally a part of the movie that's accurate to how I actually play. Getting my ass kicked and downing a health item.
So as soon as Kiryu finishes the health item and goes, unpausing the game, an enemy tries to attack him. And then Kiryu does 3 heat actions in a row. On every one of these guys, it has the heat action noise because he's just been charged to full.
Now we get the bit where Nishiki and both him going to full heat. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be so good. It's going to be so cool. And it's not.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Yeah, he just sort of...
Basically...
To be fair, okay, I will give it fairness. He just sort of slams Nishiki a bit and then beats him. And I will be fair. I will be fair to one thing. When you're as upgraded as you are at the end of Kiwami, this is actually how the fight goes. You just beat him instantly.
You also, if you are hurt, you just down the health item and do a hit move and then win. Like, this is pretty accurate. Yeah,
like, oh my god, Nishiki is so weak in Kiwami at the end of the game.
And after this, like, honestly, I don't mind this fight scene that much just because it is Kiryu being fully upgraded and full health and full heat.
Okay, and then after he just gets knocked down and he's now just done, Yumi...
No, he doesn't just get knocked... He gets knocked down. The finishing blow is, like, the part that makes you go, really? He just elbows him in the stomach, and then that's... And then... Like, he's less of a fight than anyone else.
And then Yumi has shown up with the money for no reason.
Nope.
Yeah, he also was not in this film at any other point.
Because the reason, so the money has a bomb on it, and the whole thing with this was that she was trying to stop none of Nishiki, none of the Omi Alliance, or any of the other Tojo people, or Jingu getting the money. And so she has the bomb as insurance and threat, but at this point in the movie, everyone is defeated already. And I mean that, like, as soon as she gets the bomb out, we cut to Sniper Guy just instantly cold cocking.
Jingu never appears in this movie.
Jingu.
He does.
No, he doesn't shoot Jingu.
Oh, sorry, he shoots the helicopter and it blows up.
You're right.
Yeah.
The helicopter blows up with the bomb.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, the Korean guy just shoots Jingu.
Wait, let me double check.
Straight up shoots Jingu. Yeah.
Oh yes, he does. He shoots Jingu, and then Yumi, and then it makes it even worse. He shoots Jingu, and then Yumi sacrifices
suicide bombs herself for no reason, and then we get the big ending scene of the game when all of the money is raining down from the top of the Millennium Tower. Except it doesn't make any sense because this fight and the bomb blew up in the ground floor.
I mean, I assume they're supposed to be, like, they're meant to be at the top, but I know that's.
But then, like, Kiryu is like, and Haruka are like climbing out of the rubble. No, he does go up there afterwards because after the bomb is blown up, Kiryu and Haruka are climbing out of the rubble after somehow magically teleporting to the top floor of the Millennium Tower.
Yeah, it's silly.
That's the end of the movie now, basically.
The Yakuza bits were really good. Why did we need to waste so much time on a plotline that's...
No. Okay, no, this is the part that makes this movie... Yeah. This is the part that made me go, okay, they really didn't know what they're doing. Because the rubble part, it's like, guys, that didn't... It wasn't like that in the game. The bomb was more centralized to get Jingu, and, like, it...
Yeah...
The money was, like, out the way because it was a distraction. It wasn't anything important. It was a distraction.
Yeah, that's the movie. I feel like just because of what we've seen and some of the good choices that they did make, makes you realize that this actually could have been a good movie. They could have actually made a Yakuza movie. Like,
so...
Yeah, it could have worked.
Here's the thing.
No, I
don't think this was a bad movie. I think this was a great movie but that was held down in about half.
I think
half of this movie is amazing.
I think
half of this movie is
that's kind of why for the same reason, that's why I think this is kind of an movie, in that it basically averages out to being because it has moments that are so amazing, but the lows are so low that it drags the whole thing down.
If I'm being honest with you, if you do watch this movie, listeners, we mentioned crime couple, and then we just stopped talking about them. You don't understand the way we talk about this film. There is so much of this film.
There is so much of this film.
Oh, look, money's raining from the sky. We didn't need to do this crime spree and have one of us die.
Also, like the crime spree,
and that's the guy I killed, and that's another random Yakuza I killed.
What?
Yeah. I really love the Yakuza bit.
That's the movie. And most importantly, that was 3 hours of Ryan and me nerding about.
Yes, I need to be like, I need to be leaving very soon.
Okay, I'm very sorry.
Okay.
Everybody, we will see you next time on this podcast. Hope desperately needs to go and fuck.
I'm doing the piece of shahada, God damn
it.
Play Yakuza, play Yakuza, play Yakuza, play Yakuza, play
Yakuza,
play Yakuza, play Yakuza, play Yakuza, play Yakuza, play Yakuza, play Yakuza, play Yakuza, play Yakuza, play Yakuza, play Yakuza, play Yakuza, play Yakuza.